Hello and welcome to Halford Stadium for tonight's broadcast between Stephenson Jaguars and the Southwest DeKalb Panthers. Brian Zwerner here with John Morgo. John, we got a big game tonight.
Exactly, Brian. Two teams that are on top of the DeKalb County standings. They both had very easy victories last week. Stephenson ran right through Columbia, 39-12. They piled up an amazing 480 yards of offense. Southwest DeKalb, they blanked Woodland of Stockbridge 19-0. The Panthers only gave up 100 yards of total offense for Woodland of Stockbridge. So, Brian, what we got today is a pretty good offensive squad against a pretty good defensive squad. We'll see which one is the better squad here tonight.
And this game is brimming with Division I talent. Some guys I'm keeping my eye on tonight, John. Deshon Stoudemire, number one, the senior wide receiver for the Jaguars. Georgia top 100 recruit, committed to West Virginia. He's going to be tough to stop. He had two catches for 40 yards and a touchdown last week. Other guys we'll keep an eye on the other side of the ball. Javier Morton, number two, defensive back, committed to Alabama. Who else you got your eye on, John?
Well, he may be only a junior, but Deondre Jackson certainly had a coming-out party last week against Columbia. 226 yards from the line of scrimmage, 3 touchdowns, including long gains of 80 yards and 68 yards. We'll see what this guy can do with the football against this vaunted Southwest DeKalb team.
Yeah, they got a lot of talent out there. Senior safety and running back Jamel Starks has over 20 offers. He wears number 1 for the Panthers. UNC, Nebraska, Rutgers, Syracuse, Minnesota, amongst others. And the other guy to keep an eye on is Rico Smith, number 28. He played corner last year. He bulked up. He was hitting guys so hard they told him he had to play linebacker. So he had 8 tackles and 2 sacks in that first game.
Exactly, and Jamel Starks also had 9 tackles, including a forced fumble. Southwest DeKalb caused 3 of them. They didn't recover any, but still, that's another testament to how well their defense is performing.
Yeah, both of these teams had a lot of success last season. The Jaguars going 8-4 overall, 6-1 in the region, came in second. Only lost to undefeated in the region Tucker, but they fell in the first round of the playoffs to Heritage Conyers 20-7. It was kind of a tough matchup, tough draw for them in the first round, John.
Exactly. Stephenson has been a normal playoff contributor. They've made the playoffs every season since 2001, but however, even though they get to the playoffs, it's not a real good indicator of them making a way through it. They've only been to the quarterfinals once. So even though they've gotten in, they really haven't been able to get that playoff run going that would excite and energize their base.
And the head coach, Ron Gartrell, he's been there a while. Southwest DeKalb's coach, Damian Wimes, this is his first season over there with the Panthers. The Panthers went 8-5 overall last season, 4-1, second in the region. Their only region loss to Arabia Mountain, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs to Banneker 35-17. Beat Banneker for 35-17, lost to Rome, the juggernaut, 56-0. No shame in that one. They were blowing people out the whole season, Rome, in the playoffs.
Exactly, and they immediately started on the same track this season. I don't know if you watched that Corky Kell game against Marietta, but Rome just looked unstoppable against a top classification foe in the Blue Devils.
Absolutely they did, and they're going to be another tough team to beat this year. They are number 1 in our Sportal Coaches Poll for the season already. These two teams matched up last year. Stephenson came away with a win, 31-18. So they play each other a lot, even though they're in different regions, different classifications. As DeKalb teams, they're going to play each other pretty much every season.
Exactly, and it's kind of interesting in that Stephenson, Southwest DeKalb, the Panthers are the team that Stephenson has faced the most since this institution was created way back in, I believe, 1999-2000. This will be their 15th meeting, and Stephenson has won 9, Southwest DeKalb 5. As a matter of fact, Southwest DeKalb hasn't won in this rivalry since 2004, although there was a 5 or 6 year interruption in things from 2005 to 2011.
Well, today's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. Coming to you live from Halford Stadium in beautiful DeKalb County. We appreciate the DeKalb County Athletics having us out here live tonight, and the Stephenson Jaguars and the Southwest DeKalb Panthers. We're going to throw it over to the studio analysts, Kyle Sandy and Ned Case. They broke down this game we're about to see. Check out this, along with some footage from practice from behind the scenes at both the schools.
Southwest DeKalb and Stephenson is an ultimate DeKalb County rivalry game. Stephenson winning 7 straight against the Panthers. It is a SportalTV Game of the Week. This matchup is sure to have the attention of the entire DeKalb County community and will go down at Halford Memorial Stadium at 8 p.m. We will be there streaming live on the SportalTV YouTube channel. Both these squads are coming off successful games the prior week. Stephenson, led by legendary coach Ron Gartrell, trounced Columbia 39-12 in their season opener.
Stephenson, coming into 6A powerhouse, has plenty of talent going on all over the board, but it starts with their senior wide receiver, Deshon Stoudemire, a top 100 recruit. He's committed to West Virginia. Great hands, great ability to go up and get that ball, and he has to. And every day in practice, he's going against the Alabama commit, Javier Morton, at the defensive back. He is tough. It makes his job easy when you have a Georgia commit like the defensive tackle, Nazir, Stackhouse, up front, wreaking havoc for quarterbacks, making it tough for them to set their feet and throw a pass. And jumping back to the offensive side of the ball, a player who's really grown in the last year is the senior offensive lineman, Joshua Black. He's now committed to Georgia Tech. Watch for him along with sophomore George Jackson to open up holes.
Head coach Damian Weems, a former Panther himself, has his Southwest DeKalb team coming off an 8-5 season where they made it to the final 16 teams in Class 5A.
Yeah, Southwest DeKalb, they've got a ton of talent. It starts with their all-state safety, Jamel Starks. Over 20 offers today, UNC, Nebraska, Syracuse, just to name a few. Look for him to make major impact in the running game as well. On defense, he's joined by a lot of speed. Joshua Tate, Habez Long, Dwan Mason, and Rico Smith, all great linebackers. They're going to make plays all over the field. Tavia Zachary and Jason Stovall are two huge 300-plus pound linemen who are going to look to open up holes against a talented Stephenson defensive line. This is a game that will likely be won in the trenches.
Well, for running backs, just to get over 1,000 yards for each running back over the season, we hoping to rush for maybe 300 every game.
I want to put up at least 30 every game.
We're not letting nobody pass the 50. And ain't nobody scoring.
Defense scoring 21 points every game.
We just going to stop them, goal line, rush. Just going to do all of it.
Well, we put them through a lot during the summer, with summer workouts, off-season workouts. I think that's the key. We preach a lot about intensity, playing hard, and doing what you've been taught to do. And our kids buy into it. We've kind of built a model now with the past teams that these last few years these teams kind of picked it up. We kind of dropped off there for a couple of years, but I think we're kind of getting back to where we were.
We're practicing on executing, finishing just as well as we started. Just make sure that everybody does their assignment and able to execute and win the game.
Special teams is a big factor in this game.
Got to get the O-line together. Without the O-line, you can't win.
We all need to work as a brotherhood together, offense and defense, and being on the same page.
Yeah, well, it's my first offseason back here as a head coach. Well, here as a head coach. Very challenging in some ways, just kind of getting some kids to know the whole process versus just playing in the football game. So, but I think it's going to pay off at the end, Well, it's a lot of fun, a lot of work also, teaching the kids accountability. Our team theme this year is climb, commitment, loyalty, intensity, mental toughness, and brotherhood. So it's just really keeping the standard up from the community, from the county, and really just setting those goals high every year and reaching to attain those goals.
Hope you enjoyed that behind-the-scenes look from the practices of the Stephenson Jaguars and the Southwest DeKalb Panthers. That to be seen on our SportalTV YouTube channel. We have the best live broadcast highlights, features on high school sports. Subscribe now to SportalTV on YouTube. John, we got about 10 minutes here till game time. What do you think we're going to be seeing from these two squads? We're going to see a lot more on the ground. We're going to see these guys throwing the ball. What are you looking for?
Well, I think Stephenson is going to be keeping this ball on the ground. It worked for them against Columbia, 440 rushing yards, only 40 passing yards. All of that you were talking about him in the outset, Deshon Stoudemire, the West Virginia recruit, 2 catches, 40 yards, and a touchdown. But again, Deondre Jackson with a 226-yard performance. Ryan Ingram had 89 yards, and Joseph Jackson also had, Joseph Jackson again threw for 2 for 5. So again, that's going to be a running attack for Southwest DeKalb. We've got passing. Ryan White was 12 of 19 for 178 yards and a score. Found Janirin Bonner for 3 catches for 82 yards. So it's going to be, looks like Southwest is going to be more of a passing-oriented offense, and Stevens is going to try to run it on the Panthers.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Two rivals that are face off every year. These guys went Southwest DeKalb dropped this game to Stephenson last year, 31-18. Head coach Ron Gartrell looks to build on that. The Hot 107 and the Dirty Boys will be inviting the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour, powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com.
National anthem being played here at Halford Stadium. We're still got about 8 minutes to go until kickoff. John Morgo along with Brian Zwerner here on SportalTV, your game of the week, and an exciting matchup between two undefeated squads here in DeKalb County, Stephenson and Southwest DeKalb. Stephenson ranked 4th in our inaugural coaches poll for Region 6A. That is just how well the Jaguars have come about. Again, Ron Gartrell in his 23rd season as head man of the Jaguars. He started out at Shamrock High School before that institution was shuttered way back in the mid-90s, and moved right over to Stephenson when that started in the, I guess you could call it, the wake of Shamrock's closing. Damian Wimes, he's in his second year as Southwest DeKalb's head man, has a 9-5 record. And Brian, when you talk about Southwest DeKalb, the name that comes up, Buck Godfrey, and anyone who coaches Southwest DeKalb is in Buck Godfrey's considerable shadow. And Damian's and Coach Wimes trying to build his own identity with Coach Godfrey in the shadows, but really the only way to do that is you got to win. And Southwest DeKalb does have those 2 titles, but none since 1995.
Yeah, a lot of talents come through that program, and also with the Stephenson Jaguars. A lot of guys that have made it all the way to college football and even to the NFL coming out of DeKalb County. Tremendous amount of talent down here. Just under 7 minutes left. John, we talked a little bit about the coaches poll. Tell folks a little bit more about that. Every head coach across the state has the opportunity to vote each week for their top 10 teams in their classification. Only head coaches allowed to vote. We have coaches from all over the state of Georgia that have been submitting polls. It is 100% anonymous through our secure online platform. If you are a head coach watching this and you haven't seen an email from poll@sportalspace.com, reach out to us on Twitter or email us at poll@sportalspace.com. And we'll make sure you're getting those emails. Emails go out Sunday and Monday, and polls are due by Tuesday, end of day, and they are published on Wednesday nights. So if you want to see your team in there, you feel like you got a good squad, or you feel like you really got a handle on the teams in your class in the state, we want to hear from you. We want to get your votes in. John, our next week's game of the week, we just got a minute, and we can talk about that. We've got Lassiter facing off against near rival
really
Kell.
Excited about that game. That was probably one of the top games that kind of jumped out at me when I saw the original schedule. Kell is so incredible in terms of their tradition here in the Metro Atlanta area. Host of the Corky Kell Classic, they're always in it. And Lassiter, Hudson Mason's old school, a very big Cobb County matchup. I am really looking forward to those two teams getting together under the lights here at SportalTV, especially doing a game in Kell, which is one of the best institutions to call a game from here in the Metro Atlanta area.
Yeah, I got a chance to go up to the Kell Stadium this week as we prepared some of our pregame work for the SportalTV End Zone to End Zone show. That show previews the top high school football games across the state of Georgia each week. See highlights and fun behind-the-scenes content dropping every Thursday night. Not Wednesday anymore, John. Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on SportalTV on YouTube. But tonight, the focus is all on the Stephenson Jaguars and the Southwest DeKalb Panthers. We talked a little bit about some of the talent out there, covered a couple of the guys, some other guys to watch from the Jaguars. Offensive lineman, the big man, Joshua Black, number 75, Georgia Tech commit. And he's joined by a couple of other big offensive linemen, sophomore George Jackson, number 71, and Trevor Arrington, number 55. They got a lot of beef up front on the Stephenson Jaguars.
Exactly. And another thing to talk about for Trey Wilkins, who is Kentucky, this is a very interesting story, Brian, that occurred last April, March, when Wilkins was originally committing to South Carolina, but there was an issue involved, and the Stephenson coaching staff pretty much told South Carolina, your coaches are no longer allowed on campus. So that's a big issue between those two. I think they've kind of smoothed things over since then, but certainly a very big controversy that erupted between Stephenson and the administration of Will Muschamp over there in Columbia.
Trey Wilkins, a great kid. He wears number 7, a linebacker, Kentucky commit. We got a chance to spend a little time with him when we went over to check out Stephenson's practice, and we're excited to see what he can do out here. Over to the Southwest DeKalb, we talked about Jamal Starks and Rico Smith. A couple other guys we'll be keeping an eye on. Joshua Tate, number 7, linebacker and running back. Jabez Long, number 9, a defensive back and wide receiver. And Dwan Mason, another senior. A lot of senior talent on this team, a lot of experience out there, and that's going to be something that the Southwest DeKalb is going to have to rely on early against this attack from Stephenson.
But if you look at it, those 3 players you mentioned, Starks, Rico Smith, and I believe Brian Ulmer, who leads on who's a wideout, and also Joshua Tate, they're all seniors. You look at Ryan White, the quarterback, he's a sophomore, and the person he hooked up with a lot last week, Janiran Bonner, a freshman. So young talent on the offensive side, but an experienced defensive contingent, and that's why Southwest DeKalb only gave up 100 yards against Woodland of Stockbridge last week.
Yeah, it was a tough game for that. Woodland Stockbridge, they blanked them. 18-0 was the score in that game. A great starting game for Southwest DeKalb Panthers. Stephenson Jaguars beat Columbia 39-12, so they both come into this on a nice high note. We had the Stephenson Jaguars last year, John, on SportalTV, a scrimmage up at Grayson. Grayson jumped out to an early start, had a nice halftime lead. Stephenson chipped away at it, and they scored a touchdown with less than 30 seconds left to make it a tie game. Don't play any overtime in the scrimmage, and it was a nice look at that Stephenson Jaguars team against one of the top teams of the state, Grayson. Grayson ranked as high as number 5 nationally, and they will be on SportalTV in 3 weeks' time. We're excited to see them as well.
Yeah, that game against Westlake. Stephenson and Southwest DeKalb, their captains are meeting at midfield for the toss. For Stephenson, you see Isaiah Bembry, number 3, Javon Goff, the Alabama commit, number 4. Javon Goff, number 4. Number 78 is Nazir Stackhouse. He's going to Georgia, committed to Georgia. And number 75, Joshua Black.
Yeah, it's always nice when you got all this talent out there. The Stephenson Jaguars, they got guys that are committed to top-tier programs, and it's going to be a good one. We got about a minute and a half here to kick off. And we're just trying to get a handle on who the kick's going to. Did you hear the call there, John?
No, I did not. Look at Southwest DeKalb's captains. Jamel Starks is there. Aqeel Muhammad is there. Number 2, one of their wideouts, a junior, got a touchdown throw from Ryan White last week. Ryan White threw for 3 of them, 170 yards, 3 scores. So again, Stephenson with the running attack, Southwest DeKalb with the passing attack. They're going to be in the gold with the blue numbers and the white trim. Stephenson will be in the black numbers. Black jerseys with white trim.
Stephenson about to come through the big sign down there. They got their cheerleader contingent, and they're about to bust through this sign. It's going to be a big one, John. Brian Zwerner and John Morgo here. We're excited to be here at Halford Stadium. Appreciate the hospitality from the DeKalb County School District out here. It's going to be a fun night of football.
It's the second game of a doubleheader. The first game was Clarkson and North Springs, and North Springs just ran up, down, through, over, under. No problem with Clarkson, 54-0. They had a running clock in the second half, and that's kind of why we're getting underway right on time at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, John, I was driving over here, and I
is going to receive this kickoff. They're going to be going from right to left across your computer monitor. And I see Deshon Stoudemire in the middle of that 3-man return contingent.
Yeah, not a lot of good choices to kick to back there. They got Stoudemire, Javier Morton back there, number 2.
Yeah, Javier Morton's at the bottom of your screen, and I believe that's Marquez Randall, number 10, at the top. Stephenson, they're ready. Southwest DeKalb, they break the huddle. We are ready for football here on week 2 of the Georgia high school season. Both teams 1-0. Kicking off for the Panthers, it looks like it's number 19, Emmanuel Pounds, and he's going to pound this one. And we're underway. A poocher trying to go right in the middle, but they are going to call a flag immediately. Somebody left early.
Yeah, John, we had a flag-filled night at Best Academy in Kip last week, and I'm hoping for a cleaner game. It's the second week of the season. These guys have had a chance to work out some of the kinks, get a little settled in for football, but not a good start. First play of the game, we got a flag down right away.
Yeah, it's against the Panthers. They'll back them up 5 yards, and we'll redo the kick. Pounds, number 19, a senior, 5'10", 220. So again, I made this joke about 5 minutes ago. He's going to pound that football and try to get it deep. But again, as you mentioned, Brian, there is not a lot of good choices back there if you are the kicking squad.
No, there's a lot of speed in the deep reception back there for the Jaguars, and if he puts that thing out there, gets Deshon Stoudemire in space, it could be trouble early for the Panthers.
So Pounds will try it again. And this one's clean, but it's a poocher right into the middle of the screen to count at the 35 and down at the 40. Ryan Ingram was the one who fielded that. And Southwest DeKalb will see Stephenson get the ball at the 40. 1st and 10 here from Halford's Stadium.
Yeah, good starting field position already for the Jaguars. They'll start out at the 40-yard line here, and we'll see how they come out. They were throwing the ball a fair bit in their first game, and we'll see if that continues here.
Well, you're going to want to watch number 5. That's Deondre Jackson, and he's right there at the 36. Your
yeah, I couldn't believe when I looked at it, John. He had 11 rushes for 226 yards, over 20 yards a carry.
Joseph Jackson under center and immediately comes to the near side and gets it to the 44. That is a gain of 4 for Ryan Ingram.
He had a nice swarming defensive stop there. Jamal Starks, number 1, leading the way. Nice job in the run defense, and I think they got to be pleased holding him to 4 yards on that first carry.
Ingram, 89 yards and a score against Columbia. Ball on the near hash. Clock is stopped with 11:25 to go as number 3, Carlos Stephenson, goes to the sideline. He is replaced by number 18, Dion Samuel. I'm sorry, that's number 10. And that is DeWan Mason. On second down, they lose the football. Oh. And I believe...
looked like that quarterback jumped on it.
Yeah, Jackson got back on it. He was going to hand it off, but then realized he didn't have it.
Yeah, Jackson with a heady play, jumped right on top of that one, didn't try anything fancy there, and Stephenson will retain possession.
But they lose a yard. Makes it 3rd and 7 from the 43. 10:49 remaining here in the first quarter, just underway from Halford Stadium. Southwest puts 4 on the line. Now looks like they might cheat a linebacker. Under center is Jackson. He lost it again. And who fell on it?
Looked like number 4, Javon Goff.
Yeah, I think it was Goff. So Goff recovers the gaff. It loses another yard. It's 4th down and 8.
Wow, John, what a sloppy start for the Jaguars. They fumbled 2 center quarterback extensions, and here we go. They got to punt right away. They're going to blow this good field position.
So Southwest DeKalb will put 2 back. 9:55 remaining in the quarter. Stephenson with the punt. It's a low one and goes through his legs. He's got to quickly get it off, but there's room now. 45, 50. That's a first down. And talk about recovery. Wow.
What a crazy play, John. The punter loses the snap, finds himself all alone, and takes it for the first down.
Dominic Allen with the recovery. And he's going to get the first down. It'll be at the 42. That's a pickup of 16.
Yeah, John, hard to look at that as exactly a positive. That is 3 out of 4 plays where they've had trouble getting their hands on the snap. But somehow he picks it up and runs it 20-plus yards and gets himself a first down.
And play will be whistled dead. I believe it's a timeout on the field. 9:16 remaining. That center looks like it's number 74, Devontae Mack. So 9:16 remaining. Southwest called the timeout. Probably Damian Wimes is just trying to get his team to gather themselves. They thought they were going to have great field position, but they never really pursued that fumble recovery.
Yeah, the punter found himself alone on the sideline. He had one man to beat. Once he got ahead of him, he had a good 20 yards open field in front of him, and he was able to pick up that first down. So not the way Stephenson would have scripted it out, but 1st and 10 we go inside the 50 now.
Exactly. After the timeout, 1st and 10 from the 42. Jackson comes to the near side. That's Ingram. And Ingram will lose 2.
And that's another big play by Jamel Starks, number 1, the senior defensive back who's playing up in more of a linebacker position. And, John, he's blowing things up out there.
Well, he had 9 tackles against Woodland of Stockbridge last week. Ball on the near hash. It's at the 44. So losing 2, 2nd and 12. And, again, the officials are going to blow that play dead. There is some sort of issue on there. I think it might be just some substitution issues for the Panther defense. As number 15, Gazine Klen, comes out.
Yeah, John, I'm keeping an eye on number 1, Stoudemire. He's been set up in what looks like a lot of single coverage tonight.
And on the draw, up the middle is number 5, Jackson. Jackson will get a couple to the original line of scrimmage at the 42.
Yep, Joseph Jackson wants to take a shot down the field. He's got his speedy wideout, Deshon Stoudemire, mostly in single coverage as the Panthers are really stacking the box against the run here.
3rd down and 10. It's it's Johnson again. Johnson to the far side. Cannot make the corner. Getting 3, maybe 4 to the 37. So I guess you can call it 5 yards, but that's going to bring up 4th down. And another punting opportunity, or will they go for it in here? Actually, they'll mark it at the 38. So 4th down and 6.
Yeah, it looks like they've got the main personnel in here to go for it, and I think they're going to take a shot on this inside the 40-yard line. I don't see they see a lot of downside.
Exactly. Joseph Jackson has the play, and he comes in. 4th down and 6. Got to get to the 32. Ball on the far hash. Southwest, they're going to crowd that box again. They're going to cheat a safety, it looks like. It's a tight formation. Handoff on a jet sweep to the near side, but the play is blown. Somebody moved. Ingram was going to get the carry, but another penalty here for procedure violation with 7:23 remaining.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Gartrell is going to go ahead and pull on the punting unit now. Now that we're looking at 4th and 10. He's not going to give this one a go, John. He's going to try to punt this. And the punt was one of their best offensive plays so far this possession.
It is. It was their best play. After the penalty, backs it up to the 43. Allen back at his own 40. 2 back for the Panthers. It's a good snap. It's a good kick. And they're going to fair catch this, but it's short. It'll take a Southwest bounce and is stopped at the 23 with 6:57 remaining. in the first quarter.
Yeah, John, that was a play of two what-ifs there. The Panthers were coming hard and fast after that and got pretty close to getting a block. And then on the other side, that ball was bouncing around, and there was a Panthers player who wasn't looking. And that ball bounced really close to his back. If it touched him, it would have been a live ball with another opportunity for the Jaguars.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought it did touch him. But Stephenson didn't go crazy with that, so I assumed it missed him. All right, now it's Southwest first opportunity with the football. They'll split out, two up top, one at the bottom, ball on the far hash. Panthers going left to right across your computer monitor. Ryan White, he's in the shotgun. In motion is Muhammad. And it's a high snap, but they're going to get it to Elon Scott to the far side, and he'll pick up about 5.
Yeah, nice job by the quarterback, Ryan White there, John, because that ball was coming fast, and it was well above his head. He corralled it, got it down quick, got it right into his running back, and made sure he got a nice positive out of that.
Maybe 6 to the 29-yard line, so it brings up a 2nd and 4. 6:30 remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, Jaguars are putting a ton of guys up by the line of scrimmage as well. They don't seem to be too worried about him trying to throw over the top here.
Well, he did have 186 yards passing last week. I believe that's 2nd in the county. Another high snap and another draw to Scott to the far side. He'll get the first down to the 38-39. Pick up
Scott
10.
laid some wood at the end of that play, knocked out the corner, pushed him way out of bounds, and the sideline over there looks pretty excited about it.
So it's at the 38. That's a first down. 2 pickups for Scott here in this drive, and Southwest is moving the football. Again, it's on that far hash.
Looks like about the 38-yard line. That was 2 high snaps that Ryan White's had to go chase and bring back down. He hasn't had any trouble handling them yet, but I don't like the look of those, John.
It's kind of interesting, Brian. It looks like the center for both squads is the most valuable player on these teams. Well,
especially if he can keep it in the hands of the quarterback. We'll see if he's most valuable or least as the game progresses.
Exactly. Well, another procedure, I believe, as the officials stop the clock. Now they restart it. In motion is Muhammad. He stops, now goes the other way, and another flag. Another flag for another motion penalty, more than likely. I think Muhammad, when he made his little U-turn, caused a false start, and that's exactly going to be the penalty.
Yeah, about halfway through this first quarter, or just over halfway, John, and neither team really seizing momentum just yet. A little sloppy play still early in this game, early in the season.
Well, Stephenson just hasn't been able to get their ground attack going, and a lot of that is the bobbled center quarterback snap exchange. So again, Ryan White back deep, back in the shotgun. Scott to his right. And they'll do that draw again to the left side. And he's got a lot of yards, pushed out of bounds near the first down. That's a gain of 14 to the 47.
Yeah, John, Coach Wimes has definitely sees something he likes on that play. There's a hole, a gap there off left tackle, and Scott is hitting it hard and really getting some nice chunk yardage on the ground.
He's got 30 yards already on 3 carries. 2nd and short. Let's see if we see the same thing. Yep, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think he just got enough to get that first down. Call it Jamel Andrews, number 90 with the tackle, but still Scott should get credited with the yard he needed to move the chains.
Early indications look like 3rd and maybe a foot. From where we're standing, it sure looks like a first down, but apparently it's going to be 3rd down and just a little.
Yeah, just not. Well, now wait a minute. It looks like the chains are going to move.
Yep, chains are moving, first down mark.
So it is a first down for the Panthers. 2nd one of the drive as we hit the 5-minute mark in a scoreless ball game.
Little different look here. Ryan White just with one back now.
Now we go back in that normal look.
Yep.
But they're moving Scott to the other side, and there's a false start. Trey Wilkins was trying to cheat in, but I think he might have caused someone to flinch when he made that move into the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, John, if I had Trey Wilkins moving around in front of me on the line of scrimmage, I might flinch too. He is a big body, and he can bring some heat.
So another 1st and 15, pushing the ball back to the 43. You're watching SportalTV, Atlanta Game of the Week. Thank you very much for spending part of your Friday with us here from Halford Stadium. in Clarkston, Georgia, part of the DeKalb County school system. Well, now they go into an I backfield. Almost a bobble there. White throws. He's hit hard, and that is intercepted. Coming to the near side for Stephenson. Their first pickoff of the season. Tiptoeing down the sideline. Stepped out. No, he didn't. And that is going to be a touchdown.
Kamar Wilkinson. Kamar Wilcoxon coming up with the big touchdown. But there is a flag on the field around the 40.
Yeah, about the 38. I thought Wilcoxon stepped out right about then at the 48. It looked like he did.
Either way, the interception will count. If there's the flag there, it's just on the run back, and it's going to be the Jaguars' ball inside the 50, most likely, even after the penalty.
Exactly.
What a great play. He was just ball hawking in center field, John. He came flying across because I think that Jackson thought he was open out there.
Exactly. He might have forced the throw because White just got nailed right as he delivered the football. That might have caused the ball to get underthrown just a little bit, enough for Wilcoxon to get under there and make the pickoff.
Yeah, that's sophomore, 6'2", 180-pound defensive back Kamar Wilcoxon with the play of the game so far. And the Jaguars will go to work inside the 50. Now a little bit on the other side. Looks like it's going to be the 42-yard line.
Still waiting for the penalty to be adjudicated. Now it looks like we got the word. Yep. Yep. Blocking below the waist on Stephenson. So
that negates the touchdown, John. That's a tough call. That is the 5th penalty early in this game, and just going to take the touchdown off the books. But still, it's going to be Stephenson Jaguars football here, and a chance for them to really make something happen, change the momentum.
And that's the first non-procedural violation of the ball game. It's going to push the ball way back. That's almost like a 30-yard penalty, almost. Way back into Stephenson territory at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, still nothing to feel bad about for the Jaguars defense. It was a really nice pick, and that'll give them the possession here, letting them a chance to stop that momentum because the Panthers were showing some nice momentum. They were running the ball well with Scott. Scott was getting nice chunk yards, making first downs. The first time Ryan White tries to go to the air, and he's picked off in center field by Wilcoxon.
Well, the problem was that makes them one-dimensional with Scott doing it. So they were able to force a pass and then got back in the secondary and actually brought the rush home, knocking White off and allowing Wilcoxon to get the pick. 1st and 10 at the 42, 4:04 remaining in the first quarter. Well, wait a minute. That's against – the interception goes off the board because of that, and it's Southwest DeKalb football. And they're going to go to number 1, Jamel Starks. Starks is going to lose one.
We apologize. We did not catch that call. Apparently, the Panthers are retaining possession here. We're not sure exactly what the call was down there. It must have been some type of personal foul before the pick because the Panthers have retained possession, and they are now at the 42-yard line going the other way.
You know what it might have been? Roughing the passer. I think that's what it was. Roughing the passer.
Yeah, we apologize. We don't have any word up here on the booth on that, but it appears to be the call. And the Panthers will keep going to work here.
Yeah, Jamel Starks will get the call again, and Stephenson's ready for them. Brian, it's been the same play. Go off left tackle. Try to get to the corner. We had it with Scott earlier. Now we got it with Jamel Starks. And Starks will lose a couple back to the 45.
Yeah, they tried to mix it up with Ryan White throwing it out, but that didn't work out for them. So they're going right back to the same play, and now they got 3rd and long. We'll see what they're going to do here.
3rd and long from the 45. Here on a beautiful night for football here in the Metro Atlanta area. 45, they got to get it to about the 32. 3rd and 13 on obvious passing down, and there's another procedure penalty.
And that is our 6th penalty early in this game. We are on pace to have over 20 penalties, much like we did last week.
Exactly, and they're all procedurals.
Yeah, a lot of sloppy play to start the season.
With the exception of that roughing the passer call.
Now we got 3rd and a country mile, 3rd and 18.
Yep, push them back to midfield. It's at the 50. Again, you got to get to the 32, so it's about 3rd down and about 17. 2:29 on the clock here in the first frame. Stephenson, Southwest DeKalb, the 15th meeting between these two. Stephenson has actually beaten Redan the most, 12 times. 3rd down and 17. Another procedure penalty. Someone is moving a little bit early, and it's Southwest DeKalb again. Oh, they go with an illegal substitution.
Oh, the Panthers are just digging themselves a hole, John. They were set up at the 42-yard line to start this possession here after the roughing the passer, and now they're going to be on the wrong side of the 50.
Exactly. It's at the 45. Javier and Bonner is at the slot on the near side. I'm sorry, the sideline on the near side. It looks like Kalen Wimes in the slot. On the draw, he dropped the football. Doesn't know where it is. This is going to be Stephenson's football, I believe.
I think so, too. They tried the safe play, John, but it didn't work out. Safe. Fumbled. It looks like it's going to be recovered by the Jaguars at around the 44-yard line.
44-yard line as they untangle everybody. They went again to Jamel Starks. This time, instead of going left, they went right. And sure enough, Stephenson gets the turnover that time with 1:58 remaining here in the quarter.
Well, this was a round where we thought they were going to set up off the penalty after the interception, John, and the Jaguars are going to go to work. And again, with just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Tonight's game brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities to use sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game.
So the ball at the 42 for the Stephenson Jaguars here in this cat fight.
It looks like the Southwest DeKalb would recover that one, and they're going to punt.
Yeah, they punted it out of bounds. So we got $1:25 remaining, and now Stephenson will get it back.
Yeah, do you want to see your favorite team on our end zone highlight top plays? Send us your best videos via Twitter DM or tag at SportalSpace, and you might be on SportalTV next week. We're excited to have Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedules, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com.
Ball at the 30 for the Stephenson Jaguars. Jackson will hand it off. Coming up the near side is Ingram. And Ingram will get to the 35-36.
Yeah, nice little run on first down. Take some of the pressure off. Let this Jaguars team get moving again because it's been a bit of a bad start for them. Nothing's really gone their way.
Exactly. Their biggest gain from scrimmage has been Allen's punt that he fumbled and had to return for a first down. So it's second down as we're under a minute from the 36. Another handoff to Johnson. And gets one to the 37.
John, I love the way the Panthers defense is swarming to the ball. There are 4, 5, 6 guys on every tackle for Southwest DeKalb.
So you've got Deondre Jackson, number 5. You got Joseph Jackson, number 15. And it's going to be third down and short from the 38. So third and about 2. And we will have to get this play off as the first quarter winds to a close. So it's third and about 2. Another stack the box. And again, they do the draw, the fake, and it will be a first down for Deondre Jackson at the 43. That is enough. Pick up a 5. And that should take us to the end of the frame.
Yeah, nice little play there. Kind of a quick hit right off left tackle, and they scamper out there for the first down. And that'll end the first quarter with a score still 0-0, John.
Exactly, and we have a defensive battle. Oh, they get it off just in time. And it's going to be Deondre Jackson, and he's pushed backward about, 10 extra yards. It'll be a pickup of about 13 as the quarter ends.
Yeah, I don't think the Panthers were ready for another play any more than we were. We were expecting they were going to let the clock run out, but they let a nice play, and they'll start the second quarter inside the 50.
Exactly. That's it for the first. No score between the Jaguars of Stephenson and the Panthers of Southwest DeKalb here on SportalTV.
And if you love high school football, you can listen live to 680 The Fan Game of the Week on SportsX on your radio at 106.3 FM or 1230 AM or the SportsX 680 The Fan mobile app. This week they have South Forsyth taking on Blessed Trinity. Blessed Trinity #1 in the coaches poll at 4A. And next week they'll have 6 games from the Freedom Bowl starting Friday night and all day Saturday. This event features top teams from around the country, including Atlanta teams Milton and defending 7A champ North Gwinnett. Today's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game. Brian Zwerner here with John Morgo. John, it's been a bit of a difficult start for both squads. The Panthers were getting some momentum. They had some sloppy plays. They threw an interception that was nullified by the personal foul. They had a fumble that looked like they lost possession, but they managed to retain it. And then on the other side, the Jaguars couldn't get anything going in their first drive. But now that they're rolling, they're really getting something happening on this drive, it looks like.
Exactly. According to my very unofficial stats, Stephenson has about 47 yards of total offense. Southwest, only 28. And again, that 16 yards from Allen kind of factors into that total as well. We start the second quarter. 12 minutes back on the clock here from Hallford Stadium. Ball on the 44 for Stephenson. Now going left to right across your monitor. They're in all black with the white numbers. Southwest DeKalb, gold jerseys, blue numbers, white trim. Jackson on the handoff to the near side. And that's going to go to 40 to the 39. Jamel Starks on the tackle, and that's Deondre Jackson with the carry. Jackson picked up 13. Now he got 5. And remember, this team went for 440 yards last week, all on the ground, so you know they can grind it out. And it looks like they're finally starting to get their running attack moving.
Yeah, we've been looking for Deshon Stoudemire, #1. He looks like he's in a lot of single coverage. They haven't tried to get him the ball yet.
On the second down play, near side, and a lot of room for Deondre Jackson again. That's close to the first down. Doesn't get it, so we'll pick up 4.
Yeah, Deondre Jackson not getting the 20 yards of carry he got in that first game blowout, but still making nice yardage here, and he'll set up another first down.
Third and short.
Oh.
Well, we got a down Southwest DeKalb player at the top of the screen, and that's number 28. That's Rico Smith, credited with 13 tackles last week and 2 sacks in that victory over Woodland of Stockbridge.
That's a key player for them, and that's somebody who's been making things happen and stopping this running game. The Panthers have been jamming the line of scrimmage. They've been playing very fast to the ball, and it's helped to keep these guys from the Jaguar side in check. So hopefully he's able to get back up and get in. It's not that hot tonight. It's not a cramping type of game in this heat. Not much to worry about. It's around 80 degrees here. Beautiful night in DeKalb, Georgia.
Yes, a very kind of a sneak preview of what we're going to see in fall. It's not fall weather. We don't have that nip in the air, but still it is a very beautiful night for the best of DeKalb County football here on SportalTV. And you look at Southwest DeKalb, they've got 498 wins as a program, needing 2 more to hit 500, become the 38th team to get to that total in the state of Georgia, and only the 3rd in DeKalb County. And trivia question, Brian, who are the other 2?
Oh, man, you got me. I don't know.
Well, if you read my article previewing this game on SportalSpace.com, you would know that one, of course, the Tucker Tigers. Very easy to figure them out. And Decatur is the second. So 3rd down and short. Deondre Jackson will get the first down all the way to the 30, pick up a 5.
Yeah, the Jaguars have just been able to keep pounding it out. This drive looks completely different than the first one. They were having a lot of trouble with the snaps on the first drive, but on this second drive here, they're really just chunking out the yards, and it's mostly been just handing it off to number 5, Deondre Jackson, junior running back, goes 6'2", 205 pounds.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gotten plenty of offers for D1 schools. 1st and 10 from the 31. And that's Deondre. No, he's going to throw. Jackson to Jackson. The Jackson 2. And off the screen pass, they'll get 5 to the 26.
Yeah, he was being chased there. If he had a little bit more time, he could have tried to look down the field, but he was lucky to be able to get that one off and make a nice positive play out of it. And we'll have 2nd and about 5.
So a gain of 5 Jackson to Jackson. Again, the quarterback, Joseph Jackson, only 2 of 5 last week for 40 yards, all to number 1, Deshon Stoudemire. Second down and 5, 10:04 until intermission. On a draw to the near side, it's Jackson again. Deondre Jackson, he got caught from behind.
That was Antonio Partridge Jr., a junior linebacker, came up in that run coverage, and man, did he make a great play, because if he doesn't come up and make that play, that could have been a first down and a good bit more.
Number 27, he puts Jackson to the turf near a pear tree, and it's 3rd and 5 from the 26. Ball on the near side, under center, Jackson, and they're ready for him. Right at the line of scrimmage, wrapping him up, John Grant, number 41. That's a gain of 1, but it'll still be 4th and 4.
Yeah, it looked like Joshua Tate in on that tackle, number 7. They're swarming to the ball again. They got away from that, the Panthers, but now they're really crowding that line of scrimmage, and they're attacking the running backs.
9:03 remaining. Ball at the 25. And
does not look like the Jaguars are even considering trying to kick this one, John.
No,
they're going to run this one.
Yeah, I was just going to make that point. It's the yellow zone, that area from the 20 to 40, where really going for it is your best option. Jackson in shotgun. He'll leave it on the ground. This is Goff, and Goff will get what he needs to the 15. Gain it 11.
Yeah, nice little left tackle run there by Goff. Goff kind of did it all himself. He had a little bit of a hole, just enough, and he hit it hard and got himself that first down, and they'll set up at the 16-yard line inside the red zone with a chance here for the Stephenson Jaguars, and they're chunking some real nice clock, John. This drive started around the beginning of the quarter, and they are running a nice chunk of time off here.
Yeah, about, I would say 1:45 is when they got the football. So 1st and 10 from the 16. Oh, play is blown up, and Southwest should recover that.
That ball's bouncing around, but I'm pretty sure the Panthers got on top of it, and they're saying they did, and so do the referees.
Referees agree, and I believe the last man on the bottom of the pile was Kazim Glenn, number 15.
And that was just a mis-exchange by the quarterback and the running back, because he had that one and he just sort of missed the handoff. Ball went popping around, and the Panthers were ready to capitalize. And man, does that just blow up a great drive by the Jaguars. They get nothing out of it.
They held the ball for about 5 minutes. Ball now at the 30 following that fumble recovery. Southwest DeKalb got a shot at things. But
I'd like to see Ryan White try to air this out a little bit and try to loosen up this defense, because they're stacking the box. They're daring him to throw it again. The one pass he made was an interception taken back by the personal foul.
Well, he's going to diversify, screen pass to the near side, and it's going to be very hard to get back to the line of scrimmage for number 17, the freshman, Janirin Bonner.
Yeah, he got drilled by about 6 defenders from the Jaguars on that one. There was nothing doing. They sniffed out that screen. If he's going to pass, he's going to have to try to go down the field, but he's going to be facing off against Javier Morton, defensive back committed to Bama, and a number of other strong players in the secondary for the Jaguars.
So a gain of 1. Again, Ryan White, 178 yards last week, 3 touchdowns. I'm sorry, one touchdown to Muhammad. 1 to the near side, 2 up top. White, he's got time. Another screen out of the backfield to Scott. Scott trying to get to the sideline. He's at the 35 before getting pushed out.
Yeah, these screen passes just are not going to get it done against this type of a defense. These guys from the Stephenson Jaguars, John, they are swarming to the ball. There are 5-6 guys sniffing out these screens. They're going to have to hope they can hold protection and try to get Ryan White to go down the field if they're going to make anything going in the passing game.
That was Wilcoxon. He had the interception that was canceled due to the roughing the passer penalty. Gain of 3. It's 3rd down and 6 from the 34. 6:45 remaining until halftime. And on the draw, no, they do a little reverse draw to Scott. Scott weaves his way, and he's breaking it open. Scott, 1-man or 2-man to beat, caught from behind at the 26.
That was Isaiah Bembry running him down from behind. Scott thought he had a touchdown, John. He saw the end zone, but Isaiah Bembry was just too fast and ran him down.
That is a gain of 37 yards for Scott. For Elon Scott, and Southwest is in business back at the 34. You know, Brian, I was talking via email for Coach Gartrell, and I asked him, since they played Southwest so many times, would it be fair to consider Southwest your main rival? He said, no, not really. They both play good football. He said the bands are more of a rivals than the teams. On first down, the draw to the fullback, number 44, TJ Alexander, and Alexander will get pushed back a yard to the 30.
Yeah, that play was swallowed up. Looked like Pierre Weaver coming up and making the hit, number 39. But there was a pack of Jaguars there to take that one out. Coming up on 6 minutes now in the second quarter. Real nice play by Scott. Got us all the way down to the 30-yard line here. Let's see what the Panthers can do to capitalize.
So they're at the 30. They are trying to diversify the playbook a little bit. Now instead of going left-right, they're going north-south on the runs. Trying to see if the Jaguars are cheating toward the ends, and somebody moved again. Well, we didn't have a procedure penalty through most of the second quarter. Now we get one.
That's our 8th flag, 1.5 quarters into this game. And I've been keeping track because they've been lining up.
And it seems like most of them have been against Southwest DeKalb.
Yeah, and most of them for these offensive offsides, illegal procedures. It's been that kind of sloppy stuff that's really hurting them, and they don't want to do this here against the Jaguars. These Jaguars team too explosive to give them opportunities.
Ranked number 4th in the inaugural coaches poll for 6A. Second down, now 16 from the 35. White got time, throws a bullet, sideline route complete, but did he get it in? It was
yes, it's a catch.
Number catch by Brian Ulmer.
Yeah, great catch along the sideline. Referee came up. He had 2 hands on it, and that's a first. No, not a first down. It's going to be about 5 to go here.
Yeah, gain of about 10 to Ulmer. And so suddenly Ryan White is finding his stride with downfield catches, especially for that
smart plays. Smart call by Wimes to get him into some nice screens, some safer passes, build his confidence up.
And I believe Stephenson, judging by the Southwest coaches to our left, they got Javier Wade to advance across the line, and maybe another cramp on the line for Southwest.
I think that's number 52, Anthony Williams, on the ground there.
I had it. Yep, 52.
Yeah, Anthony Williams, one of their big offensive linemen, is down on the ground. So we'll get a little quick break here with 5:11 left. Do you know a student athlete that had to overcome challenges to play the sport they love? We want to share stories that can inspire others to dig deep and find success in sports and life. Send us your Sportal stories and let us help you share with the world. Today's game is brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game.
So it's going to be third down, about 5 when we get back to live action. They move the ball to the, third and short. Move the ball to the 20 after that false start. 5:04 to go. Finally, Southwest getting benefited from a Stephenson procedural penalty. And they'll keep it on a rushing attack, trying to go to the sideline. That's enough they need. And that's a good gain by Elon Scott. He should be credited with that yard he needs to advance the chains, put it to the 19.
Yeah, number 7, Trey Wilkins came up in coverage there, laid the hit, but it looked like it was still going to be a first down. And now the reduced signal first down. It's going to be first down at about the 19.
Scores from around the state. Let's see if I can give you one here from our broadcast position. Well, we'll start looking at some scores a little bit later. First and 10 from the 19. Man in motion, high snaps. Jamel starts with it. He bounces off the line, trying to get free, almost dragged from behind by Kobe Branch, and instead we'll get it back to the 20.
Yeah, another dangerous play. That was another high snap. Ryan White had to go up there and get it. He was barely able to get the handoff to Starks before he got wrapped up in the backfield, but he'll get a little something, at least almost back to the line of scrimmage as we come up on about 4.5 minutes left in the half.
Ball at the 20, so it'll be 2nd and 11. It's on the far hash, going right to left across your computer screen. McEacher in 31, South Cobb 6. That's in the second quarter. 2nd and 11. Man in motion, but White, somebody loses a helmet. That's going to get a flag. White running, now he'll chuck it, and he kind of threw it away.
Yeah, it looks like it was a Panthers player that lost his helmet down there.
Yeah, number 55, Jason Stovall Jr.
Yeah, one of their near 300-pound offensive linemen.
Not the 430-pound lineman we saw last week.
No, that might be the biggest guy we're going to see from Best Academy all season. John, when I looked at this game, I thought we'd see a little bit more scoring. It was a low-scoring game last week. 12-8 was the final between Best and Kip. And here we sit with only 4 minutes left in the half, and it's still 0-0.
Still 0-0. Let's see if the penalty is going to get adjudicated. It's going to be against Stephenson. Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face, and it's going to make it I think it'll be 1st and goal from the 10.
Yeah, the Jaguars' mistake there really hurt them, setting them up at the 10-yard line now. And this is a golden opportunity for the Panthers. They've got to score, get this lead early here in the game. Still first half, 4 minutes to go.
So 1st down and goal from the 10. They got to very bad position for Southwest because you got to get it in. You don't have the luxury of an extra little pocket room down at the end of the goal line. Gainesville 14, North Forsyth 13. White talks it over with his halfback. Calls for it. He's back. Dump pass to Starks. Starks cuts upfield, and he will get to the 8.
A lot of movement there, a lot of stuff going on to get themselves about 2 yards, John.
Yeah,
a little bit too complicated for me this deep in the red zone.
They'll get it to the 7. That's the first catch for Starks, as White 4 for 5, but for 4 different receivers. Clock is under 4 minutes, 3:49 left until intermission.
I'd like to see him feed Scott here down in the goal.
2 to the near side, 1 up top. White in the shotgun. Starks. There's room. No, it got closed off, but he makes the turn to the 5. And
what a touchdown!
Somersault into the end zone. That's a touchdown for Jamel Starks.
What a great play. The defenders were coming up. He jumped over the top of 2 of them, John, and somersaulted his way into the end zone for 6.
Starks gets Southwest on the board. 6-0 here on SportalTV.
What a great individual effort by Jamel Starks, the senior running back. Jumped over 2 guys and somersaulted into the end zone.
Yeah, he had Omari Terry, number 22, right behind him. I thought Terry was going to grab him, but then Starks just kind of jumped up, knocked his feet, caused him to somersault, and Southwest will take the points. They're up 6-0 here with the extra point looming. And the kick, they put it down, put it up, put it through.
Well, John, that's the first time we've seen an extra point attempt on the SportalTV network this season. Kip and Bess had touchdowns, but neither of them even tried a kick. And that one was nice and true, right through the middle of the uprights. And that is a 7-0 lead for Southwest DeKalb.
I believe the kicker, number 33, Reno Ramjog. So 7-0 favor of the Panthers here on SportalTV.
Yeah, the SportalTV YouTube channel has the best live broadcasts, highlights, and features on high school sports. Subscribe now. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to SportalTV on YouTube.
Well, it's an acrobatic way to start the scoring for this ball game, this all DeKalb County rivalry. As Southwest gets the points, and they're going to get the kickoff to start the second half. But now Stephenson, they're going to have to do something here with this possession, down 7-0. And
John Stephenson was driving really nicely on that drive. They worked their way all the way down to the 16-yard line, and then a bad handoff exchange between the quarterback and the running back led to this drive getting going. And it was a nice effort by Scott to advance the ball up the field, and then punched in with a beautiful acrobatic finish by Jamel Starks.
And there's the kick. Let's see where it's going to go. They're going to try the return team. Didn't earlier. And Morton will get caught at the 28.
Yeah, Panthers did a nice job in coverage there. A little bit dangerous kicking that one to the speedy guys back there for the Jaguars. But the Panthers' coverage was right, and everything worked out the way you'd hope, and they got him inside the 30.
Exactly. So 1st and 10 for the Jags at the 29-yard line. And the Jags going to have to try to move the football here as the half winds down. They've got 3 timeouts left, all of them, as Stephenson comes on out.
Yeah, John, halftime coming up. We're going to see 2 great bands out there, so we'll make sure we give you a little bit of a look at that. And we've got some highlights and other things we're going to show you from the prior week in Georgia high school football. Handoff goes off right tackle.
Yeah, near side, and that will be number 4, Javon Goff. And that's going to be a pickup of around 10. That might be enough for the first down. And that'll move the football. Dang, that's 2 straight 10-yard rushes for Javon Goff.
Looks like they're going to call that about 2nd and 1.
Yeah, they
moved just short of the first down out there.
They moved it back a yard. Again, Goff to Alabama. That's where he's credited to continue his collegiate career on 2nd down. Now it looks like the Devon Goff show, although as he comes to the near side, gets that first down to the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 5. So we've seen Jackson, we've seen Ingram, and now it's Javon Goff's turn to try to move
who we
the
haven't
football.
seen yet or haven't talked about is Deshon Stoudemire, the star wide receiver. He's got a tremendous speed on the outside. John, they're leaving him one-on-one, and if I'm Coach Gartrell, I'm going to take a shot down the field one at a time here because he's got the opportunity to beat his man and make something big happen. There's no safety help.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson only 1 for 1, but instead it's going to be the other Jackson, Deondre Jackson, and the Jackson connection doesn't merit any forward progress. 2nd and 10. And Deondre Jackson certainly has been the workhorse of the offense. He's got the most rushes in this ball game for anybody. And the Southwest people to our left, they are very excited as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the quarter. Ball to the inside of the near hash as the Jags go left to right. And this is a different look. Jackson the shotgun, but instead
blown up.
Yeah, he kept it to himself, did not hand it off, and Joshua Tate was able to stay with it and deposits him in the turf.
Yeah, Joshua Tate was not fooled by that fake handoff, and he came in and drilled the quarterback. 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining now.
That's a loss of 5. No.
And that was the first time in a while we've seen the Jaguars go into that spread look. It looked like they were going to try to get down the field, but Joshua Tate said, no way.
Timeout on the field. I believe Stephenson took it with 1:31 remaining here until the end of the first half. Panthers up 7-0, I think.
Yeah, we are joined tonight by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with our Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And you are watching the SportalTV YouTube network, the best live broadcast highlights and features on high school sports. Subscribe now to SportalTV on YouTube.
That is definitely a look, especially our end zone to end zone broadcast premiering every Wednesday night through the high school football season. Kyle Sandy with your host and all of our SportalTV crew bringing you the best in high school action every Wednesday night only on SportalTV, powered by YouTube. John Morgo, Brian Zwerner here on a nice, calm, cool night here from Clarkston, Georgia. Halford Stadium, the jewel of the DeKalb County stadiums. There used to be a Jumbotron, if I remember, from this facility, but they took it down here in Halford Stadium, although I haven't been here in a couple of years, as it's going to be 3rd down and about 13-14. And there's that spread look again, Brian. 3 to the top, 1 at the bottom. But it's a draw play to Goff. Goff cuts to midfield and push back. That's going to be close. I'm sorry, DeOndre Jackson.
I think they're going to give him the first down there.
It might be a yard short. It is. It's a yard short. So Jackson gets 12.
They're going to let the clock run a little bit, the Jaguars, just in case they can't pick this one up. But the clock's running, going to hit about 1 minute, and they're going to try to run this, and it's going to be a timeout no by the Jaguars.
Yeah, Southwest is going to call it. If Stephenson didn't call the timeouts, Southwest is, but they credited it to Stephenson. Stephenson now with 1 timeout left, so kind of counterintuitive there for Coach Ron Gartrell in his 23rd year at Stephenson, and I believe he is the dean of the DeKalb County school system coaches. He's not the dean of DeKalb County. That honor goes to Alan Chadwick over at Marist. But at 23 seasons, Coach Gartrell certainly has the distinction for the DeKalb County school system.
Marist, another ranked team in our coaches poll, recognized by the coaches across state 4A classification as one of the top 10 teams, as is this Stephenson team out here. If you are a coach out there and you're watching this broadcast, you should see an email in your inbox every week from poll@sportalspace.com. Make sure you get your votes in. We only allow head coaches in the state of Georgia to vote, and you only can vote for your classification. We think you know best, so you let us know. Back to live action.
Marist, no trouble, would love it. 33-0. 4th and short on a nice misdirection handoff to Jackson, and Jackson cuts his way through down at the 25. Touchdown saving tackle by Amon Spivey, number 21.
Great run by Deondre Jackson on 4th and short, and he takes that thing all the way down to almost the 20-yard line.
Under a minute to go. Stephenson can only stop the clock once. That's a gain of about 24 yards for Deondre Jackson. He had 29 yards from scrimmage in that first quarter. He's had a lot more since then. Now, Jackson, is a screen, and after a fake, brought down hard by Southwest DeKalb.
He was running for his life there, John. He had nothing doing. He had 2 guys in pursuit, and that is a big loss of 14 on the play.
Yeah, that was Jaquan Smith, number 40, who finally brought him down. Loss of about 11, and that was very close to being either a horse collar tackle or another illegal tackle, and Stevens is going to spend their final timeout with 28 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, I thought that ball might have come flying out of there the way he hit the turf so hard. But he held on to possession, 28 seconds left, but it's going to be 2nd down and 20.
Well, really, let's call it what it is, Brian. 2nd down and 35.
Right. They got to get to the end zone, and they got to do it in 28 seconds with only 1 timeout here. So not a lot of room to work, but a first down will stop the clock for a short minute and give them a chance to reset. You know, if Stephenson can punch this one in, they might negate the early momentum that's being enjoyed here by the Southwest DeKalb, because if I'm Southwest DeKalb Coach Wines, I'm feeling fantastic where I am, and if we can hold on and get out of this thing with a 7-0 lead at the half, he's going to go into the halftime feeling fantastic.
Especially since Southwest is going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. And that was Stephenson's final timeout. They can't stop the clock. Southwest does have 2. But I doubt the Panthers are going to be in any hurry to expend those. Coach Wimes is going to keep that in his pocket as he goes into the half. Coach Wimes, this isn't his first stop in DeKalb County. He was at Miller Grove for a number of years and got a record of 30-30 with the Wolverines, known more as a basketball school than football. Anyway, 2nd and 35, high snap and a lob out of the backfield, out of the hands of Ryan Ingram.
Yeah, dangerous play. There were 2 blockers coming. 2 defenders coming unblocked while they were trying to set that screen up, and he nearly got hit before he had a chance to get that one off. But it falls to the turf, and it'll be 3rd down and 20 from the 35-yard line with 24 seconds left here.
Exactly. 3rd down and 20. Got to get to the 14.
Yeah, they have not been able to protect Joseph Jackson when he's trying to get their passes off. They've tried rolling him out. They've tried running coverage over to him, and nothing's working. The Panthers defense is just coming after him too hard and too fast.
Yeah, Jackson 1 for 2 for 5 yards by Mice.
And there's another penalty out there.
And another penalty, probably a delay of game. Pushes it back to the 40.
That is our 10th flag here as we roll into the end of the halftime.
We're close to 9 o'clock here in the Eastern Time Zone. They reset the game clock to 24. So you got Jack Bauer under center as Jackson calls for it. He's gonna warm up, throw to the end zone. Ball is tipped and incomplete.
Ooh, it looked like he had him down the sideline there, but really nice pursuit and coverage. The corner got back there for the Panthers, and they were able to knock that one loose.
Brings up 4th down.
But one thing you really got to like there if you're the Jaguars is he had time to set and throw the thing 30 yards down the field. And that's the first time he's had a shot like that at least to take.
4th down, so I guess Southwest might have a chance with this if Stephenson. Now what do? You got 15 seconds. Do you try to go to the end zone or do you try to get the yards? We'll see. Jackson in shotgun. Jackson to his right. He's got it. He's rolling. He's dancing. He winds up. He throws, but it's short and almost intercepted. Jamel Starks had it go through his hands, and that'll be a turnover on downs with 7 seconds remaining.
Yeah, if there's a little more time left, I would have said he would be better off not catching it. But at this point, what the heck, 7 seconds, he might as well grab it and try 90 yards the other way at that point. But it'll be the Panthers ball at about the 40-yard line. They'll get one crack at it if they want. But to be honest with you, if I'm Coach Wimes, I'm downing this thing out and going to the half with a 7-0 lead and feeling great about myself.
Exactly. Taking a knee and getting to the locker room.
And they've really kept this potent offense for the Stephenson Jaguars completely in check. They've been able to get drives down the field, but when it counted, the defense for the Panthers has stepped up big time.
Exactly, especially with that huge sack by number 40, Jaquan Smith, in that last exchange. And sure enough, that is what Ryan White's doing. And we are at halftime. It's Southwest DeKalb getting the points when they needed to. We'll tabulate some stats and give you some numbers, but Southwest DeKalb goes into the break ahead of Stephenson by a score of 7-0.
And you're watching SportalTV YouTube channel. We have the best live broadcasts, highlights, features on high school sports. Subscribe now. Hit that subscribe button to SportalTV on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Brian Zwerner here with John Morgo, joined as always by our producer, the man behind the computer, Joseph Johnson, and our cameraman tonight, Andrew Garner, and our roving sideline reporter, Chuck Jones, down there somewhere. It's a long way up here in the press box, so we're not sure if he's going to see us anytime soon. But he is down there and checking it out, and he will be bringing us the news from the sideline. And as always, joined by our partner, Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They will be invading the best games this season with their Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour, powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedules, teams, and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And we got the bands coming out here shortly. It's going to be a fun time with the bands out here, John. Always a lot of talent. We're going to run a few videos, give you a little bit of video content here tonight. Last week we were live as the KIPP Warriors took on Best Academy Eagles. It was a great game with the Best Eagles gutting out a 12-8 win. This wasn't decided until the Eagles recovered an onside kick with less than 10 seconds left. Joseph, we're going to roll those highlights for him now.
The 27 yards of offense for Best Academy. And here we are starting the second quarter. Best is going to punt for their own end zone, and it got blocked. And I believe that might be a touchdown.
Waiting for the referees here. They're coming in. It looks like it's going to be a TD for the Warriors. Safety. They're calling it a safety.
Wasn't giving him the timeout. In the shotgun, Hickson, here comes the rush, and Hickson's gonna go down hard. Tyree Norwood, number 24, blew the play up, and two up top. Hickson, got time. Steps up, delivers, in the hands, that's complete, and a big stick up, and going for a touchdown, although we do have a flag down, that's Rashad.
Something behind him back there. Maybe an I formation.
He's going to give it, and it's blown up.
Because you see it stops.
Robinson, 18 seconds remaining. This probably will do it for the third. But it's batted at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. That's Benton. Benton backs down the pass from Blackburn and picks it off. And just as Kip, best trying to build 6-2. Morgan bounces off one man and will go right to the end zone.
Yeah, that was a great individual effort by Morgan. He ran into the wall. He spun. He found himself with nothing.
Giovanni Morgan with a 5-yard rush. That's going to put the game in hand for the best Academy to do. Fourth down, Blackburn lobs it high. It's caught and almost making a touchdown. Getting it to Pittman.
Yeah, nice play here. This time's winding ground. They got.
Seconds. Blackburn calls for it, looks to the far side, goes to the far side. A lot of people up there, and that's a pass interference. One end of the line to the other. Shakir puts it up, trying to spin it. It takes a big bounce, but it goes right to the deep man, to the 30, and down at the 30 with 4 seconds to go. And now all best needs.
And we hope you enjoy those highlights of Best Academy taking on Kip Atlanta in a 12-8 thriller. Brian Zwerner back here. We are excited to be joined in the booth today by Mr. Jones, the principal from Stephenson High. Thank you for having SportalTV out here tonight.
You're welcome, Brian.
Mr. Jones, tell us a little bit about what makes Stephenson High a special place for the students.
I mean, Stephenson High is just a phenomenal place. You know, 701 Stephenson Road is just a locate. But it's so much behind the scenes with our scholars, parents being involved, businesses being involved. So it's just a family situation.
That's fantastic. Now, we love to hear stories of success from the principals that we talk to. I know you have many. Please share with us just one student who really stands out at you that came through the halls of Stephenson and really benefited from the environment there.
Well, I'm really excited by Isaiah Zuzuba. He's a wide receiver for Kansas State University, and I'm most excited because this December he will be graduating, but he's still playing, and hopefully he'll be a top pick in the NFL draft.
Fantastic. It's always great to see that success. Now down 7-0 here. Jaguars have got a little bit of a hole. What do you expect from Coach Gartrell and the boys in the second half?
Well, I expect for them to come out and give us a strong effort. You know, Southwest Cab is a formidable opponent, and I'm just excited about the ball game.
Coach Jones, we appreciate you coming up and joining us up here in the booth. Have a great second half, and good luck to the Jaguars.
All right, thank you so much.
And we are back. Brian Zwerner and John Morgo here. John, any thoughts on the second half coming up here?
Well, Brian, I'm looking over these stats. Again, they are the definition of unofficial. Kind of kept them here as we were going along. I've got Joshua Jackson for Stephenson, 1 for 4 for 5 yards. That's for Deondre Jackson. Rion White, I've got him 4 for 5 for 19 yards. Rushing has been the story, which is kind of a surprise. Stephenson has 110 yards on the ground, and Southwest DeKalb 72. It's Deondre Jackson with 79 yards rushing, and Devon Goff 25 yards. Dominic Allen, the punter, with 16, and Ryan Ingram with 8. For Southwest DeKalb, Scott has 69 yards. Jamel Scott with 4. Alexander's got 1, and Ryan White -1. So we've seen a lot of ground attack. Rushing has been the story, and that's where Stephenson got their 440 yards last week. But here's the thing, Brian. Columbia got 353 in that ball game. Stephenson's defense was able to keep them off the board here. They're having a lot harder time against Southwest DeKalb's defense than they did against Columbia.
Yeah, and Southwest DeKalb, their defense has really been the story for me. They bent a little bit, but they haven't broken, and it is 7-0. Now, we have our reporters and camera people were at some of the hottest games across the ATL last week. If you catch a play on camera that you should be included in our top plays next week, DM us or tag us on Twitter or Instagram, and you can see your favorite teams in our top plays. We're going to roll the top 5 plays here from Week 1. Enjoy. And those were some amazing plays from around the state of Georgia from the first week of football. Expect more as we settle in. We here at SportalTV are excited to participate in events with the Gwinnett Sports Commission. The Gwinnett Sports Commission's mission is to foster economic development through coordinating and developing Gwinnett's role as a leading site for sports events involving youth, collegiate, amateur, and professional organizations. Check out this great video highlighting their work in the community.
Success lives here. Here in Gwinnett County, it's more than just a saying. It's the truth. We're more than just a suburb. We're Atlanta's playground. Playing America's pastime. Out driving the competition. Moving the ball forward. Taking our shot. Always seeking our next big win. Here in Gwinnett, we're leading the chase because we have a vibrant community, a thriving community, a family community. Welcome to Gwinnett. Get in the game.
We hope you enjoyed that look at the Gwinnett Sports Commission and all the great things they're doing with professional, collegiate, high school, and amateur athletics up in the Gwinnett County. John, I'm amazed to say we do not have a SportalTV game on the road in Gwinnett. We do have Gwinnett County super team Grayson playing at Westlake in a few weeks, but we're not going to be live up in Gwinnett, and we apologize for that. Hopefully next year we can get a couple of Gwinnett teams on the schedule.
Well, even though we don't have Gwinnett County, we still got some great teams that we're going to be talking about over the course of this season. Hazelwood from Cedar Grove, we're going to see him, and we're going to see Grayson, Westlake. We'll see these Stephenson Jaguars against the Tucker Tigers at the end of the season. That's a great game. So, yeah, even though we're not going to make our way to Gwinnett County, that still doesn't mean that we're not going to see great programs all over the state, because you can see a great team in Region 8A, Region 7A, Region 3A, Region 4A. They're all over the place, and we've got a nice cross-section of matchups here today. We're going to have Centennial, we're going to have Allatoona, and those are some up-and-coming programs here on SportalTV. It's going to be a lot of fun still as we go into this season and the teams that we are able to pick up. I just look at it as a matter of these are the games we have as opposed to the games we don't have.
Yeah, John, it's I was last night at an Atlanta Touchdown Club event. SportalTV, we are a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Touchdown Club. Tom Lingenbill from ESPN, their national recruiting director, was there. He was talking about each year there's usually about 10 guys coming out of high school football that can make an impact as freshmen in the first year in college football. I asked him afterwards if there was a guy from Georgia who could be that impact player next year from the state of Georgia, and he said Jaden Hazelwood, the star wide receiver from Cedar Grove. He'll be on our network. You'll be able to watch him live soon. And he said Jaden Hazelwood going to Georgia is a guy that can make an impact right out of the box as a freshman next year. He's the total package.
Yeah, he is the number one ranked wide receiver in the nation, number one ranked wide receiver in this state. It's going to be great. And I believe we have Cedar Grove on twice this season, if I'm right. We'll have them against the Lovett Lions, and that's going to be in a couple weeks. And later on in the year, we will see Cedar Grove. So if you want to see the best wide receiver in high school football, SportalTV is the place for you to see that. And again, also we'll have some information on him in the coming weeks as that game with Lovett gets closer, and all that information will be on our End Zone to End Zone show. Again, coming down, being streamed live every Wednesday here on SportalTV.
Yeah, we actually got the pleasure to sit down with Jaden Hazelwood over at Cedar Grove in the spring. Got about a 5 or 6 minute feature video on SportalTV on our website under the features section on Jaden Hazelwood, and also his defensive running mate, Rashad Cheney Jr. Rashad Cheney Jr. is a big man in the middle. He is committed to Alabama. He's going to go play with Nick Saban and the boys down there with the Crimson Tide. And we also got a chance to sit down with him and learn a little bit more about the two Cedar Grove stars that will be on SportalTV later. Check out at SportalSpace on Twitter. We are live at a few of the games across the state right now. And you can see scores, highlights, coming at you live on at SportalSpace on Twitter all night long. John, about 4 minutes left here in this halftime. We're getting treated to a great performance by both the bands. This is the Stephenson Jaguars band out there now, putting on a show.
They are just about wrapping up their show. Now they have wrapped up their show. Stephenson in Region 4 of 6A. Only one other team won their opener last week. Mundy's Mill got a win, so they and Stephenson tied at the top. No region games have been played of yet. Drew, Forest Park, Lovejoy, Monroe, Mount Zion of Jonesboro, and Tucker, all losers during the last week. Tucker, of course, lost in the Corky-Cal game. And ML King, they have yet to play or have a game recorded.
Yeah, about 3 minutes and change left. So far, this game really been, I guess I want to say, dominated by Southwest DeKalb Panthers. They've had all the momentum. Stevenson has had 2 nice long drives, but hasn't been able to get anything on the board out of either of them. And that's been the story of the game. It's now 7-0. Southwest DeKalb's going to get the opening kickoff, and they'll have a chance to try to run some more clock and get things going. Ryan White, who had a big game in the first game, has not been able to get that kind of time to be able to get passes off, and it's mostly been Ian Scott in the running game.
Exactly. Stevenson with 115 yards of total offense. Southwest DeKalb 91. Southwest DeKalb 72 yards rushing, 19 through the air. Stephenson Jaguars 110 rushing and only 5 through the air. Again, not many passes by both teams, and that's why we've been able to move through that first half in about an hour.
Well, and the only score with 6:35 remaining in the second quarter, a beautiful run by Jamel Starks, senior running back for the Panthers. He came off the right side, John, and looked like he was going to get taken down. He dived over the top and somersaulted in over 2 defenders, and that was your lone score, 7-0 with 2 minutes and change left. Both teams trying to get stretched out. It's a beautiful night here, about high 70s. no wind. Flags all sitting downward, no movement whatsoever out there. But a beautiful night for football here in DeKalb County. We appreciate DeKalb County Athletic Director Jackson, Mark Cross, his assistant over there, for having us out here. And we will be out here at DeKalb County Stadiums for a few more games. We'll be seeing both these guys, Stephenson and Southwest DeKalb, playing later in the season on SportalTV. Hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any games this season.
Exactly. Southwest DeKalb in Region 5 of 5A. All their teams played last week. Arabian Mountain, Lithonia, Miller Grove, Southwest DeKalb all won. Chambly, Columbia, Clarkston, Cross Keys all lost. Again, none of these teams have been playing in their region schedule, and both teams next week will still remain in their non-region part of their schedule, as we have, I believe Southwest DeKalb will be at Tri-Cities. Stevenson will be off next week before they play Mount Zion of Jonesboro. That will start their region slate.
Now we've got our first reporters running around in South Florida tonight, John. Jason Stromberg, one of our guys down there. He is at Chaminade Madonna. They lead Deerfield Beach leads Chaminade Madonna 13-3. A couple other scores we see. Marietta down at the half, 21-7 to Good Counsel. Let's see what else we got here. Milton at half leading Alpharetta. Milton leading Alpharetta 16-14 at the half. And trying to see if we got anything else to report to you. Coffee Trojans up 7-0 on Salem Conyers.
White County 33, Lumpkin 0. That's just starting the fourth quarter. Lovett getting shut out by Marist, 33-0. Trying to see some other scores. I just saw that Monday's Mill game, and I think Monday's Mill in the lead over Lovejoy, 7-0. North Clayton shutting out Woodland, 7-0. Woodland still looking for their first points of the season. They got shut out by Southwest last week. So Woodland having a hard time getting things going here on the offensive side of things here in 2018. Other scores, Sequoia shutting out Cherokee 14-0.
Sequoia will be on SportalTV a little later this season against Sprayberry.
Yep, Brookwood 17, Petrie Ridge 14. That's at the half. Creekview over Woodstock 14-7. Walton 7, Collins Hill 6. That's at the half.
We've got a reporter out there at that Walton Collins Hill, so if you're looking for that, follow at Sportal Space.
Lambert shutting out Chattahoochee 28-0. I think Lassiter, who we'll see next week against Kell, they were tied with Pope 7-7. Kip Atlanta, who lost to Best Academy last week, they're beating Osborne 18-7. That's in the third quarter. There's your Milton Alpharetta score, 16-14 at the break. Big game over at Bobby Groon Stadium up in Gainesville. The Red Elephants, the Scarlet Pachyderms, 14-13 over North Forsyth.
And I saw GAC leading Westminster 14-10 at the half. And a few more scores still coming in. We'll keep an eye on it. Tag at Sportal Space with your scores. We'll get them rebroadcasted out to our user base.
Well, we're about ready to start half number 2 here from Halford Stadium. I'm John Morgan alongside Brian Zwerner. The Sportal South TV Game of the Week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all you do to help support high school athletics here in the Peach State. Again, we've got this Game of the Week package. This is Game 2. We got 10 more coming up. And Lassiter and Kell next week, a very big Cobb County matchup, one of the more bigger games in that schedule. Southwest DeKalb and Stevenson. Southwest DeKalb, I do not see the Panthers. They have not come out of the tunnel, and Stevenson's out. They're ready. They're making some calisthenic moves over there on the right. Oh, there they are. Southwest DeKalb is on the end zone. There they are. They're ready to go as we have 73 seconds remaining, and of course, basketball is looming, and Brian, December 8th, SportalTV will be presenting a very big tournament, and looking forward to that getting going on as well.
Yeah, we've got 5 games, showcase games, coming out of South Paulding High School on December the 8th. Should be a fun day, back-to-back games, headlined by Grayson and Eagles Landing. Should be two fantastic teams there, and a lot of great talent being played from all over the state of Georgia coming up to South Paulding on December 8th for our Sportal Showcase. And, John, I got a chance to take a look at our game next week, Kell and Lassiter. I watched Kell play in the Corky Kell at the Mercedes-Benz, and I'm excited because those guys wing the ball all over the field.
Yeah, Kell with a high-octane offense. And you talk about that, I want to get back to that Grayson ELCA game. I mean, basketball is different from football. You wouldn't expect a 7A and a 1A to go at it in football, but in basketball, if you have two good players, you can play with anybody. So it really doesn't matter the classifications when we get to basketball. It just matters about the talent, and that is going to be an exciting tournament over at South Paulding High School. Really looking forward to getting into that particular tournament, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good basketball slate as well, in addition to our strong football schedule that we are going to present to you here on SportalTV. Well, we're about ready to go for that third quarter. Southwest DeKalb, they're jogging out from the sideline. Stephenson about ready to join them. Again, Stephenson head coach Ron Gartrell, I called him the Dean of DeKalb County, and he's got a good record, 221 and 117 when you combine his tenure at Shamrock as well as Stephenson. But again, that one mark, he's only made the quarterfinals once. If he wants to put his stamp on things, he's got to get a good run, but he's in a tough classification, and when you're in a classification with Tucker, it's kind of got to go through the Tucker Tigers, and that is a very big roadblock. Had a lot of trouble surmounting that. Well, we're about ready to go here. 12 minutes are on the clock. 12 more minutes will be after that, and here's the second half kickoff. It's going to come way to the near side and caught at the 2 by Jamel Starks. Up the middle of the field, there's room, 20, 30, 40, one man to beat. Got to be aware of a penalty, gets around him, and that's a 98-yard touchdown for Jamel Starks.
What a play. Great individual effort. He got the blocks he needed early, and then it was all Starks. It has been the Starks show tonight. He's got both touchdowns for the Panthers, and that is a huge score to open the half.
And that, if it's not the play of the week in our end zone to end zone, or in our package next week against Kell, well, there's something wrong with the classification system.
I got to tell you, John, I'm the guy who picks those plays of the week, and it's going to be pretty hard to beat that one. What a play. Jamel Starks showing the fireworks all night. He had the diving, somersaulting touchdown in the second quarter, and now the length of the field he goes to start off this second half. What a great individual effort.
Well, Darian Tisdale was the kicker, and he had a man blocking him, and I, for one, thought they were going to be very close to getting a hold on him, but clean blocking on that kicker, and that allows Jamel Starks to go coast to coast and really give Southwest DeKalb a big lead in this football game.
What a great way for Coach Wime's squad to start off this second half. They've got the 13-0 lead, and they'll try to kick this extra point to make it 14.
Trying to make it 14-0. They put it down, they put it up, and put it through. 14-0 Southwest DeKalb with 11:45.
Yeah, look, I think the Stephenson Jaguars would have come in here excited and ready to go. They were the high-ranked team. They're the team who won this game last year, pretty hands down. And Coach Wime's squad is just clicking on all cylinders. We got the coaching squad next to us in the booth up here, and these guys are flat out excited.
Well, they have every reason to be. And now it'll be Stephenson, and they're going to have to make sure they put together a drive despite that gut kick that they just suffered at the hands of Jamel Starks. And we did talk about him. Really, he was the only Southwest DeKalb athlete that's been kind of getting any press for the Panthers, and he sure has been meriting it. He had 9 tackles last week, 1 fumble caused, a touchdown, and 52 yards of receiving.
Now let's see how the Jaguars respond, John. They've now been punched in the mouth twice. They're down 14-0 early here to start the half. And how do they come out? They've had a lot of miscues. They've been able to get drives going, but haven't been able to get points out of it. And they need to dig deep, and they need to get down the field here and get a score, or this thing could get out of hand fast.
98 yards for Jamel Starks. Again, he had a head of steam after he got that football, and he put it right down. Really wasn't even touched that entire way. So Stephenson will have to answer. They're expecting Southwest not to kick it deep. They're expecting either a pooch kick or something to the middle, trying to avoid Deondre Jackson, Javier Morton, and Deshon Stoudemire, who we really haven't seen, not really a factor in this ball game.
Yeah, West Virginia commit had 2 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown last week, and he's been a non-factor. We've got a penalty already. They haven't even tried to kick the ball yet.
Well, it
he picked it up.
It fell.
Nope.
No, it is a penalty.
Must be a delay of game. They hadn't even kicked the ball.
I haven't seen that. It was either that or a sideline warning for celebration, but I don't think that was the issue. I think it's a procedural call. So we are ready to
our
go.
11th penalty so far of this game. I've been tabbing them up because that yellow laundry keeps coming onto the field.
There's the kick, and it is a spinner backed up to the 15. Coming to the near side, 30, that's Morton, and Morton will get tackled at the 35.
Decent starting position here for the Jaguars, and they were making most of their damage on the ground. They've been feeding Deondre Jackson, number 5, Javon Goff, number 4, and they were doing well moving the football, but it's been the miscues that have kept them from putting points on the board.
Well, Stephenson is going to have to take their time, get a deliberate play going, not really rush things. They can move the football. Deondre Jackson has moved it very well, but Southwest DeKalb, they have held firm when they've needed to, and what they could get a 3-and-out here, that would really put the momentum on their side. On first down, to the near side, tiptoeing on the sideline.
No, he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds back at the 43.
Yeah, Ingram steps out of bounds after a pickup of 9.
Oh, man, John, he was about a few inches away from a touchdown on that one, because if he doesn't step out of bounds, he's waltzing to the end zone.
So Ingram steps out of bounds at the 43.
But still a nice pickup there. That's going to be nearly a first down, be 2nd and 1.
2nd down and 1, and a good start on that drive. I mean, you look at what they were trying to do. That's again, running the football is Stephenson's bread and butter. 2nd and short with 11:30 remaining. Clock stopped as it went out of bounds. Jackson, Deondre, he'll get the first down. Again, coming to that near side.
And I like the play, John, by them moving back to the ground. Look, they got a little bit of a shock hit on them, that giant kick return by Jamel Starks, and Stephenson needs to get their mojo back. They need to run the football, chunk some clock like they were doing at the beginning of the 2nd quarter, and then to put points on the board.
Well, they've been shut out in this one after getting 32 last week against Columbia, 39 against Columbia. It's on the near hash at the 48. Jackson and playing bumper cars in the backfield. Finally, it's Javon Goff, and we're going to have a bunch of penalties fly. Probably, the Southwest DeKalb players are celebrating, but I think it's against them.
Yeah, it was a big hit. It grew. We heard the oohs and ahs coming from the far sideline over there by the Panthers. But it looks like it's going to be a penalty. It's going to go against the Panthers.
Yeah, it will be against the Panthers. Personal foul. That'll be an automatic first down as they move the football 10, 15 yards. It'll get moved into Southwest DeKalb territory at about the 37.
Yeah, Stephenson, one of their bigger gains. They got to keep this momentum going. They need to churn some clock and try to make something happen here. They've got to get on the board and put the pressure back on the Panthers.
Clock stops with 11 minutes exactly in the third, so we got 23 minutes of football in the regulation. Another sideline warning, looks like assessed to Southwest DeKalb. No, went to Stephenson. So they'll switch it around at the line of scrimmage. And they'll move Deshon Stoudemire up to the top. He's all alone up there. Instead, another false start penalty. That's what, 12?
I've got 13 penalties
13
so
now.
far this game. The bulk of them false starts or procedure penalties.
Yeah, that's been a majority of them. I would say 9 or 10 have been the procedural variety. But it's against Southwest, 1st down and 5, and Southwest just can't seem to get out of their own way right now. They've given Stephenson their last 15 yards. And when you're holding on to a 14-0 lead, you just can't do that. That's just asking for them to get some momentum.
You know, John, I said it earlier in the first half, Joseph Jackson, if he can get protection, he has got Stoudemire one-on-one if he wants him. It's been there all night, but he hasn't been able to get the protection.
Well, they haven't needed it as Deondre Jackson goes left side to the 29, easily a first down. I'm sorry, the 24, easily a first down, and a gain of about 5.
Jackson's run the ball real well tonight. He's been getting nice chunk yards, and we're going to keep seeing them feed him if it's working. They've had a hard time getting the protection for Joseph Jackson when he's gone back to pass. They've tried rolling him out. They've tried all kinds of different protection schemes, and none of them have kept the Panthers off him.
Sequoia 21, Cherokee 6. That's in the 4th. First down from the 24. Trying to come to the near side and brought down by number 7, Joshua Tate, who's had a lot of tackles, and that's Ryan Ingram. He'll lose 2.
We've said Joshua Tate's name a whole bunch of times on defense. He's been getting penetration in the backfield and blowing up the running backs. He's had a phenomenal game so far for the Panthers, who've really they haven't dominated the line of scrimmage, but they've made the big plays, and that has kept Stephenson off the board.
Brings up a 2nd and 12 from the 26. 9:50 remaining in the third quarter. Ball in the near hash. Jaguars going right to left on your computer monitor. They're in the dark jerseys. Another draw in the backfield. Another hole for Ingram. And he'll pick up past the 25 to the 22 and a late flag. Late flag from the backfield, so probably some extracurriculars after the play was blown dead.
It looks like the trainers are coming out. Someone is on the ground down there. Can't quite catch a number. He's back up nice and fast, and he'll have to come off. That was Ingram, number 6. Doesn't look too banged up. He'll have to come off for a play, though.
Yeah, Ingram is who they've been using the last couple of plays. Ingram and Jackson have kind of exchanged carries, but Ingram out now. They'll probably go to Jackson. And again, it's another personal foul against Southwest DeKalb, moving the ball close to the 10-yard line. It's going to be close to a 1st and goal.
Yeah, about 25 yards on this drive at least coming from penalties against Southwest DeKalb. That is not what they needed to do coming off this huge kick return touchdown by Starks.
1st and goal at the 10. Ball on the near hash. Jackson will hand it off to Ingram, who's back in, and he loses 5 or 4 back to the 14.
That was Kazan Glenn getting the penetration this time. We've been saying Joshua Tate. Now Kazan Glenn getting deep into the backfield and blowing that play up before it got a chance to get going.
Well, Kazan Glenn has had a pretty good game as well. I think he picked up a fumble. I think he caused a fumble earlier in the first half. I have to look through my notes to see if I can find it.
2nd and long here. 2nd and goal from the 13.
Yep. 2nd and goal from the 13. And Ingram will go to the 10.
And that looked like number 28, Rico Smith, the linebacker. We've said his name a number of times. And this has been the story of the game, John. Stephenson can get the ball down the field, but they can't punch it in the end zone.
Gain of 5 for Deondre Jackson. Remember, Rico Smith was injured, shaken up in the second quarter. Glad to see he's okay. So the ball is put back at the 11, and I think that's kind of where we started this. So a gain of 3, and it's 3rd down. You better believe this is 4-down territory for the Jags. And it's Jackson off the right side, crosses the 10 to about the 8.
And he got pounded at the end of that run and went down like a rag doll at the 6-7 yard line.
So 4th down and about 6. The first down marker's at the 1. So there is a little bit of room for them to get that first down. Not a lot. Very, very tight down there, like a MARTA subway car at rush hour. But instead, it's 4th down at the 7, and Stevenson's going to take their time. Clock's running, 7:48. They haven't started the play clock as of yet. Now it's going. So it's 25 from this point.
Yeah, a little help from the Southwest DeKalb coaches in the booth next to us, screaming to get that play clock moving.
Jackson to Jackson to the 3.
It's going to be short.
Yeah, I think
he's
it's going to be short by
John.
a yard. Short by a yard. It's a turnover on downs.
Big play, big stop for the Panthers defense. They come up strong at the 3-yard line, and they will get the ball. Turnover on downs by the Stephenson Jaguars, and another empty possession for the Jaguars. They go all the way down the field, John, and they get nothing to show for it.
Well, that's the second turnover on downs the Panthers have picked up in this ball game. They got one late in the first half, kept Stephenson on the board when they were driving, and they do it again here in the third quarter to preserve the shutout and a 14-0 lead. But now
Coach Wimes has got to be ecstatic with the way his defense is playing so far.
But now they're in the shadow of their own end zone.
Yeah, dangerous territory down here. We saw a safety last week in the Kip versus Best game. It came off a block punt, though, not a run in the end zone here.
Well, White under center. He'll hand off. And this might be the safety dance.
John, that's 2 weeks, 2 safeties.
They give it a safety. Do the safety dance.
Oh, I think they're going to mark him down at the 1 foot line.
Yeah, I think one referee called it, but the head referee decided no.
We're a long way up here, but it sure looked like he was in the end zone. The coaches from Southwest DeKalb are telling us, no way. He got out of there. It'll be second down at the 1 foot line.
Second down at the 1 foot line. Southwest gets a break with 6:59.
They got to punch this thing out of the end zone, John. They need to find some offensive line push and get him on the right side of the goal line here.
Well, that's Scott back there. Elon Scott, 69 yards rushing in the first half.
And here comes another penalty. No, timeout, Southwest DeKalb.
Yep, Southwest calls a timeout with 6:44 to go. They're first of the second half. They're at the 1 foot line. There is not much room for them to operate without getting a safety. And they've got a 14-0 lead over the Stephenson Jaguars.
Yeah, we got a couple of notifications we'll give out to you there. If you love high school football, you can listen live to 680 The Fan Game of the Week on SportsX on your radio at 106.3 FM or 1230 AM or the SportsX 680 The Fan mobile app. This week they have South Forsyth taking on Blessed Trinity. Next week they'll have 6 games from the Freedom Bowl starting Friday night and all day Saturday. This event features top teams from around the country, including Atlanta teams Milton and defending 7A champion North Gwinnett. John, you got some scores from around the ATL for us?
I believe I do. Let me bring those back up on my Twitter feed. Again, my Twitter feed is John_Morgo, and you can get me on that one. Again, I mentioned let's see what we got here. Looks like we got, scores from yesterday. Alcovey beat Rockdale County 25-19. North Paulding 28, South Paulding 7. That's in the third. Milton Alpharetta, that's Milton 16-14 at the half. Northview 21, Lakeside DeKalb 0 in the second. Mary Persons, no problem with Jackson 34-17 as we get back to live action. The ball is in the end zone. White for the shotgun. He slings it out, and that could have been intercepted.
Oh, that was a golden opportunity for the Jaguars. Looked like Marquez Randall, number 10.
Wilcoxon. He already had one interception that was called back, and he almost got another one.
Oh, man, what a dangerous play. And now they're going to have to work again. Third down from the 1 foot line here.
So it's third down from the 1 foot line. Pace 17, Eagles Landing 16. And Eagles Landing 27-game winning streak. That is on the line with that. Marist has extended their lead over Lovett. It's now 40-0. Favor of the War Eagles over the Lions. They'll split everybody out. White is under center. He's got one man behind him. And it will be the running back, just trying to get some room. That's Scott. He shreds one tackle as he gets out of there. And the play is going to get strung out to the far side, and Scott will pick up maybe 2 to the 3. But it's going to be fourth down. Southwest is going to have to kick this one.
Yeah, another dangerous play, John. There were guys getting hands on him in the end zone again. He did a great job just to get to the right side of the end zone. But much like we had last week in the Best Kip game, we're going to see a punter backed up here badly. They're setting up to receive this thing at the 35. So they are not respecting the punter's ability to get this thing off. And if I'm the Jaguars, I'm coming hard after this one and trying to get a block on.
Exactly. They're going to come hard after Reno Ramjag, the senior. He's back there.
Overloading that right side.
Expect the rush to come that way. Gets it off. Nice kick. Caught at the 35. Boy, he got it absolutely perfectly. This is Sanderson. And he'll get to the third at 25.
Looks like Deshon Stoudemire, number 1 on that one,
Stoudemire,
takes it back to the 25.
Yep, Deshon Stoudemire, their main threat, who's been pretty much neutralized this ball game. 2 for 40 last week with a touchdown, but he has not been able to do anything. Milton has extended their lead on Alpharetta 30-14. We've got 5:40 remaining here in the third quarter. Ball at the 25. Stephenson with another golden opportunity. So Southwest defense going to have to come up big right here as Joshua Jackson comes out. He'll have 2 running backs behind him. That's Javon Goff, number 4. He's on the bottom. And Deondre Jackson, he's right next to him to his right. Deshon Stoudemire split to the left. And it's going to be Goff. And Goff will stumble his way to the 23. Got over the initial rush because Jackson gave him a pretty good block. Instead gets a couple. The person that was blocked was Amon Spivey.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that look, John, with the 2 running backs in there, getting a little extra speed on the field with Goff and Jackson, and it gave him a little bit of a bump. But we've seen this story 3 times already with Stephenson getting deep into the Panthers' territory and coming up empty all 3 times.
So it's second down and about 7. I think Stoudemire went early. So there's the throw to Stoudemire. Intercepted by that man, number 21, Almond Spivey.
What a great play by the defense. He was tracking that thing all the way. The throw was underthrown kind of the inside. He didn't really give Stoudemire a chance to get to it. And that is an interception for the defense. Just under 5 minutes left. Southwest DeKalb will take over with a 14-0 lead.
And again, this time they're going to have a little bit of room. They'll be at the 20 instead of the 1.
That's got to be a pleasure for the Southwest DeKalb offense, not starting inside the 1-yard line. I'm sure Ryan White appreciates his defense helping him out here.
So the ball will be at the 20 as Southwest comes on out. Trying to get things going here. Well, Banneker 13, Best Academy 0. That's in the second. Best trying to win 2 straight, but they're down to Banneker. Newton and Eastside are tied at 20. On first down, White, hands off. And a nice spin
flag
move.
Behind it.
Yes, flag behind it to Scott. Scott gets pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, that flag's in the area holding, John. I think this one's coming back.
A pretty good run for Elon Scott.
And sure enough, that's the holding.
Well, Southwest has only got about 2 yards of total offense this half, largely because, well, that 98-yard touchdown doesn't factor into that category. It does for the return game, but again, the hold. And you saw Elon Scott get spun around and stay on his feet.
Yeah, Scott and Jamal Starks, the running backs for Southwest DeKalb, have had great nights between them. Starks, obviously, with the 2 touchdowns, the 98-yard kick return, and the beautiful diving, flipping touchdown in the first half. He's got both scores for the Panthers.
So they'll back it up to the 10. Still first down, but it's 1st and 20.
That was our 15th penalty so far on the night.
Well, I'm just glad it wasn't a procedural penalty. Again, Scott to the left. They give it to Scott, making a jet sweep, trying to get the corner, but just can't get a good block.
Yeah, nothing there. He's pushed out at no gain.
Yeah, Janirin Bonner, number 17, tried to do a seal block on his man. I believe it was Trey Wilkins. He was trying to seal off, but Wilkins just stayed with the play, allowed it to get to that sideline, and Scott had no choice but to go out of bounds for a gain of just 1 with 4:14 remaining in the third.
Yeah, John, the Stephenson defense hasn't played bad tonight. They gave up the 1 huge play on the kick return, but otherwise they've been pretty stout. And we've seen Wilkins, we've seen Javier Morton playing well. We've seen Kamir Wilcoxon.
Yeah, Wilcoxon has had 1 interception that got canceled and 1 he just had, and they believe they got somebody to go offside. Janier Wade, I think, flinched, number 17.
And why wouldn't it be, John? There's our 16th penalty, the majority of them coming on some kind of offsides or procedural calls.
Gives Southwest a break, moves it to the 16. Brian, I want to give a congratulations to Denmark High, the latest team in the GHSA to pick up their first career victory. They shut out Cherokee Bluff 40-0. Cherokee Bluff still looking for their first victory. On third down, just getting it off is White. finds his man. That's Akil Muhammad, and Muhammad is able to wind his way out of bounds at the 20. A lot of hard work for just about 6 yards, and it'll be third and about 9.
Coach Wimes had to have his heart stopping a little bit on that one. Ryan White was left out to hanging to dry, and he got drilled when he let that one go. He was lucky to get that back off and get it back to the original line of scrimmage here. Third down and 9.
Third and 9 from the 21. Clock stops with 4:04 to go in the third quarter. Stephenson up 14-0. I'm sorry, down 14-0. And White was going through his signals, but I think he got the wrong play.
He's going to check with me over the sideline. He's going to change the play up. Only 6 seconds left, 5 on the play clock
here. They
here.
got to get it off or call a timeout. They do with 1 second remaining. White's got time. White dumps it. No, he overthrows his man.
Oh, that was a big opportunity missed. He had number 17.
He had Bonner.
Janirin Bonner. Oh, he was wide open in the middle of the field, John. If he had caught that, he might have split the defense and gone the whole way.
And Janirin Bonner, only a freshman. And he has been counted on. He's been playing pretty much the whole ball game. He does have 1 catch today for only a yard. 19 yards for Southwest DeKalb through the air, but another penalty. I believe it's going to be against Southwest. Stephenson will decline it and force 4th down.
Janirin Bonner last week, 3 catches for 82 yards, John, a whopping 27-yard average per catch. So he is the speedster. They're trying to get it to him on the outside. He was wide open across the middle of the field. Ryan White finally had the protection in place, tried to step into throw, but wasn't able to connect, and they'll have to punt here. And looks like the Jaguars will set up just on the other side of the 50 to receive this punt.
Yeah, it's at the 45 for Stoudemire.
It's got to be Stoudemire?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's number 1. Kick, and Stoudemire comes up, catches at the 50, bobbles him. He's got to fall down. He's got to fall down as Carl Greer will tag him. Yeah, Reno Ramjog with a nice kick. Stephenson will have it just on Southwest DeKalb's side of the field at the 49 with 3:49 to go.
Yeah, Stoudemire really had his first good opportunity. They tried to throw the deep ball to him in the end zone and the last possession, and it was picked off by the Panthers. He's tried to make things happen on the kick return. They're really not getting him a lot of opportunities. 2 catches for 40 yards and a TD last week. No catches so far here for the West Virginia commit. They're going to have to find a way to get him involved in the offense because they can't just dink their way down the field. They just haven't been disciplined enough to put it into the end zone.
Well, it's been their special teams and Jamel Starks. That has been the key for this ball game, and officials will call timeouts. Well, Southwest DeKalb will call it. They'll have 1 left, and it comes with 3:49 remaining here in the third quarter. The Panthers holding on to a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, we're joined as always by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They are invading the best games this season with their Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on scheduled teams and highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. And John, everybody out there needs to take a look at Sportal News on our website. We have the latest news on fall sports across Atlanta, our reporters at football games, and also girls volleyball and softball almost every single night of the week. Subscribe to our newsletter to get the top stories right to your inbox each week.
Exactly, and of course we've got 6A The Fan everywhere also. They're at the South Forsyth game. Carl Worrell, Doug Conkle on the call, Chris Mooneyham, Stephen West in the studio. So it's first and 10 at the 49 for the Stephenson Jaguars. 3:49 on the clock here in the third. Jackson to the near side. I'm sorry, Ingram. And Ingram cannot get anything on that.
I know they've been getting decent yards on the ground, John, but they're going to have to go up top. They're going to have to go after their star wide receiver and try to get the ball to Deshon Stoudemire and let him make a play. Because this short gain offense is just not getting them points tonight.
Yeah, Ingram only has about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage in this contest. And against Stoudemire, we talked about this. He only had 2 completions for only 40 yards last week. So here we are. We have this incredible wide receiver athlete committed to West Virginia, and Stephenson just can't seem to get him the football.
No, they can't get the blocking long enough on Jackson.
Well, it's Jackson to Jackson now, and Jackson to Jackson is going to be Action Jackson, and that's going to be to the 37. That's a first down, gain of 12.
Looked like Jabez Long with the shoestring tackle to save the touchdown because Jackson had big eyes, John. He could see that end zone, and there was no one stopping him, but he was taken down by the foot. Great play by the Panthers defense again. They keep coming up big. They're giving up yards, but they're not giving up the touchdowns, and they hold on to this 14-0 lead.
Gainesville 21, North Forsyth 16. That's in the fourth. We've got 2:48 left. And to the near side of Jackson again. Jackson stopped at the 32, tackled by Emmanuel Pounds, pounding him to the dirt.
Yeah, this Panthers defense has been swarming the running backs from Stephenson Jaguars, and they've been doing it all night.
Pickup of about 6, brings up 2nd down and 4. As the clock moves to 2:23, eventually that clock is going to become Stephenson's enemy. Splitting out is Stoudemire. He goes to the top side.
There's no safety help over there if they could get it to him.
Well, they can. Instead, it's Jackson again, and I believe we got extracurriculars.
We got a helmet knocked off of a Panthers player and a little pushing and shoving. Helmet came off of one of the Stephenson players too. These may negate.
Well,
not sure what the call is yet.
Well, that was John Grant with the tackle, but we've got a little Bachman-Turner overdrive going on. People pushing, people shoving, as the officials are going to have to sort this one out. And it looks like Southwest DeKalb might get the penalty here. This would have been brought up about 3rd and 6, although I'm trying to see which way the officials are facing in order to count off this penalty.
These may be offsetting.
Well, it looks like they're going to do Stephenson first. And, well, it's a big penalty.
I saw the helmet come off first on Southwest DeKalb, and I think that's what they're calling here. The helmet was wrestled off the Panthers player, and that sets up 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, 48. It's about 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20. Ball on the near side. Southwest puts 8 in the box. And that's stopped again.
Oh, boy. Another penalty.
Yeah, another one as we get under the 2-minute
That
mark.
one is against the Panthers, though. That is the 18th penalty by my count.
Well, now it'll be 3rd and 15. A little bit easier then. Believe it was lined up in the neutral zone. At least that was the indication for the Southwest crew to our left.
Another frustrating drive for Coach Gartrell. They were getting yards, John, and now they got nothing to show for it again.
Well, 3rd down. This would be the time to go to Stoudemire. I believe
we'll see if they roll some safety help over there. Stoudemire's had one-on-one. I know Josh Jackson can't get the rollout time, can't get the blocking, but if they could find him, they got one-on-one out there.
Well, that's how they got the interception. That's where they're going. Double coverage, and he got tripped.
A lot of contact, but no flags. Stoudemire trying to get the referees to throw something out, but they got nothing doing, and the defense comes up big again.
Yeah, got that big play. So
they tried over the middle, and that brought the safety help into play. You know, if they had gone to that outside, I don't think anybody could have gotten there to help.
Nope, I think you're right, Brian. Well, wait a minute. Maybe there was a penalty to the 28. I think a pass interference was called.
Wow, we did not even see the referees putting that one out there, but apparently pass interference was called. There were 3 defenders around it, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Stephenson Jaguars.
Yeah, they get the break at the 28.
Wow, and that is a big call because it looked like they had come up clean on that one. They had 3 defenders blanketed around Stoudemire, and that's a pass interference and a 1st down.
Well, he was bumped, and on the ground now to Ingram. He's tossed out at the 29. Loss of 1, maybe. But it stops the clock with $1:19 to go.
Yeah, this Southwest DeKalb Panthers team is doing a fantastic job of stretching these plays and using the end zone as an extra defender and getting this guy out of bounds. And they're doing a great job with that all night long.
Well, they only allowed 100 yards of total offense to Woodland of Stockbridge. They got the #1 defense in the county, while Stephenson has the #1 offense. So 1D versus 1-0, and so far 1D has come out on top. 55 ticks left. 2nd down and 11 from the 29. Coming
some late
in is
substitutions in there for the Jaguars.
Yeah, Anthony Morton comes in as they go 2 each side, but instead it's a draw to Goff And Goff stays on his feet to the 20, to the 10, and Goff will be pushed.
It's going to be out of bounds at the 1 foot, but a great individual effort by Goff.
To stay on his feet after he got pushed, it looked like he went down, but they're going to rule a 28-yard rush for Javon Goff. And now Stephenson in business.
Yeah, Goff was bottled up there around the sideline. He somehow broke free and got himself down to about the 1 foot yard line. This is a critical possession here for the Jaguars. They must score as this third quarter is coming to an end, down 14-0.
Well, they haven't started the clock yet. It's at 43 seconds. Morton was coming in. Now he gets out as it's a tight backfield. They're just going to power this. It's either Goff or Jackson. It's Jackson, and John Grant comes up from behind the line of scrimmage to pull Jackson down before he can get going.
He got eaten up on that play.
So
what a great penetration, and he puts him back a couple yards from the end zone.
I think they're going to put it back at the, maybe it's still going to be at the 1.
Okay, he fell forward a little bit.
But still,
John Grant with a great individual effort.
Yeah, still a great sack or tackle for John Grant. Jackson again, and that is a different result. I think he's in. He is. 4 seconds remaining. And
big touchdown. Finally, Stephenson finds the end zone, and they have cut this deficit, and they need to get this extra point here, John, down 14-6, 4 seconds left.
They need the extra point to make it 14-7. And it'll be number 34, Dominic Allen, to attempt the extra point. Let's see who the holder is. It looks like our Darius Caesar, number 13. Put it down, put it up, put it through.
And that is 14-7. The Panthers holding on to the lead in the final seconds here of the third quarter. John, it's been a great game, and finally Stephenson finds the end zone.
Exactly. And Brian, you can credit the penalty from Southwest DeKalb for setting up that drive.
Absolutely. It looked like they had him blanketed. They had 3 guys around Deshon Stoudemire, and they pushed him to the ground. We didn't see the call early, but that pass interference set up the touchdown opportunity. A great individual run by Javon Goff. He was bottled up, somehow got it down to the 1 yard line, and then punched into the end zone to make it 14-7 with only 4 seconds left in this third quarter. And is that enough, John, to turn the momentum for the Jaguars, or does the Panthers come out and stay calm and keep this ball, churn some clock, and maybe pad this lead a little bit?
Well, they haven't done much offensively in the third quarter. By my count, only 7 total yards. 2
yeah,
rushes.
But they had 98 on that kick return, which was all you need to do in a 14-7 game.
Exactly. Number skewed a little bit. There's the kickoff. Goes to Muhammad, and Muhammad will get to the 18 as time expires here in the third.
That's been a great game so far here on SportalTV. We hope you're enjoying it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can catch everything when it's coming out of SportalTV each week. We will be live next week up at Kell High School as they host Lassiter. John Morgo, Brian Zorner will be back there again. We got a chance to take a look at those 2 teams. It's going to be a different game. We'll see a lot more throwing football out of those 2 squads. It's going to be a ton of fun. Join us Friday night as Lassiter takes on Kell on SportalTV.
We're just entering the fourth quarter, and the score is Southwest DeKalb 14-7 against Stephenson.
See if we can find some scores, John, from around here. From the Sportal Space Twitter, I've got 37-14 Milton running away from Alpharetta. 4 minutes left in the fourth. I see 24-21 Good Counsel up with 9 minutes left on Marietta. Walton up 22-19. They take a lead back on a touchdown pass to Katie Alford. That game being covered on Sportal Space on Twitter. Anything else you see out there? 14-6 Coffee leading Salem Conyers.
Marist 40, Lovett 13 as we hit the 10 o'clock hour here in the Eastern Time Zone. North Cobb Christian, St. Francis 14 all heading into overtime.
See if we can find anything else.
Well, let's see what we got. America's Sumter 37, Doherty County 0. Buford defeats Jonesboro 58-7. Big game for the Buford Wolves. And here it's 14-7. Warner Robins 43, Locust Grove 20. That's in the third. So we're just starting the fourth quarter. Southwest DeKalb's got it. Coffee 23, Salem of Conyers 6. That's late in the fourth. 12 minutes are on the clock here in the final quarter. Ryan White's got to move the football. They want to blitz. They do. He's hit, and he's going to cause an incompletion.
Wow, that was a dangerous play, John. Ryan White got drilled. The protection was not there for him. He threw that thing into open space, and that could easily have been a pick six for Stephenson to tie this thing back up.
Well, I think we know that Stephenson is going to turn up their defense just a little bit. Their pressure has been very strong. Again, Ryan White 4 for 5 in the first half, but he's only 1 for 4 here in the second half. So Stephenson has done an excellent job with their defense as the ball is on the 18 with a second down play. And White is going to go into a shotgun situation, hopefully give him a little more time to get the play developed. He's got Scott with him. They blitz another running back. Secondary. It is going to be Scott, and he's down after losing one. Brian, they are blitzing a linebacker from behind the line of scrimmage.
Stephenson almost nailed the snap count. I saw a guy flying up from the secondary. He pulled up right before the thing was snapped, but they are bringing the heat. They feel a chance to take the momentum back here, and if they can get a stop here on third down deep in the Panthers' territory, they can take this ball over inside the 50 with a chance to tie it up in the fourth.
Yeah, 3rd and 12 from the 16. And Ryan White has no choice but to go in shotgun.
I think he's going to have to give this ball to his running back because anything else is just too dangerous backed up to their own end zone here.
One up top, 2 at the bottom. No, it's a pass play. Protection's there. White launches into double coverage. Overthrows his man.
They're looking for the pass interference on the far sideline, but it's not getting thrown. They are going to have to punt from around the end zone, John. And this is a great opportunity for Stephenson to try to get this ball inside the 50.
He was looking for Bryant Ulmer, but again, he was in double coverage. Interesting thing about Georgia high school football, there is no such thing as uncatchable when it comes to pass interference. So
he was blanketed pretty tight, but not enough contact to get the flag thrown. 11 minutes exactly left in this game, and a huge opportunity. Stoudemire will set up inside the 50. Let's see if he can make an impact on this game other than that pass interference.
Yeah, the penalty that he drew a little earlier in that Stephenson drive that got their first score of the ball game. The kick from Reno Ramjog.
That's out of bounds at about the 30, 35-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. This is going to be great starting field position. It looks like he's inside. He's going to the 30, the 29, the 28, about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, 28 first down. Again, it's when the ball crosses the plane of the sideline. That's where they mark it.
Got to figure they're going to feed Jackson here, maybe Ingram, Goff. Try to punch this thing down the throat of the Panthers and regain the momentum here.
Well, you're going to have to watch Jamel Starks, number 1. He's going to be called upon. Also, Rico Smith and John Grant.
Joshua Tate as well has made great plays from the secondary today.
Yep, all of them have done well for the Southwest DeKalb defense, and it's going to be up to the defense now if Southwest wants to spring the upset. On first down, sure enough, a draw play to Goff, and Goff
what
is
a
brought
play.
down. That is number 27, and I'm going to say that
Antonio
was
Partridge Jr. flying up for the secondary to make the play.
Exactly. So Partridge Jr. with a great play got Goff for losing a yard.
Yeah, what a wonderful individual effort. He came flying across the field, and he was sure in that tackle put him on the ground.
Well, they give him a yard, so it's 2nd down and 9. And Goff rattled off that 28-yard rush in his last time that he touched the football. 2nd down and 9 from the 27.
We'll try to pan over and give you a look at it at some point after this play, but the Stephenson sideline is amped down there.
Look at Stoudemire. He's at the bottom. And another procedure penalty.
Looks like delay a game.
Yep,
delay a game.
A DOG penalty, a dog penalty for Stephenson. That'll back him up. 2nd down and about 14.
Maybe that sideline was a little too amped, John. They were running people in, and they didn't have time to get everybody set and get a playoff.
So backs him up to the 32, second down and 14. Now Stoudemire will go up to the top. Last time he was at the bottom, now he'll go to the top. Coffee defeats Salem of Conyers 23-6.
Stoudemire still got one-on-one up there if they can find him.
Well, they're not going to. It's Partridge, it's Grant. They're combined on the tackle as Jackson can't get anything. That's a gain of maybe a yard. No more than that.
This Southwest DeKalb defense is pursuing this ball with reckless abandon. They are coming after it hard.
So the ball sits at the 32.
Going into a spread look here. 3 receivers up top.
Yep, one at the bottom. The one at the bottom is Morton. But it's still a draw to Jackson, and Jackson's got room. To the
That's
20,
a first down.
To the 18, but that's going to be close. Partridge is there with the tackle.
Yeah, looks like the chains are already moving. Great run.
Yeah,
spread the field out with that spread look, and they go right off the right tackle with the draw and get the first down. Great play call by Stephenson.
Well, it just split the secondary. It caused a lot of holes in the line. First and 10 from the 18. 9:08 remaining. Stephenson looking to tie things up. Now Jackson with 2 behind him. Jackson to Jackson. To the 15, to the 12. And number 19, Pounds, there on the tackle. But that's still a good gain. Maybe about 7 to the 11.
Critical defensive stand here coming up for the Panthers. Do they have what it takes to keep them out of the end zone? This Stephenson offense feels like it's finally getting some momentum.
Wonder how much Southwest is gassed right now with 8:30 remaining. Jackson to Jackson, and it's another positive gain, this time to the 7. And the chains will move again. It's first and goal.
And I think gas is exactly the right word, John. If I'm Coach Wimes, I'm seriously considering throwing a timeout here just to settle everybody, to make sure everybody knows the importance of maintaining their assignments here, and to give them just a minute to breathe and see if they can make this defensive stand hold.
Well, Southwest only has 1 timeout left. Coach Wimes probably doesn't want to burn in this situation, but he may have no choice. Jackson with another touchdown.
Yeah, they were running guys in as the clock was winding down, and that touchdown goes with 8:01 remaining.
Well, this is the offense that gained 440 yards versus Columbia last week, as Deondre Jackson has kind of taken over.
Yeah, it's taken him a while to get it going. Deondre Jackson had 11 rushes for 226 yards and 3 TDs last week, and now he's starting to pile up the TDs to match here.
And they are going to kick the extra point. Allen puts it down, puts it up, puts it through, and we're tied at 14 with 8:01 remaining on the clock.
John, every game on SportalTV so far is coming down to the wire. Last week's game, Kip and Best, it wasn't decided until less than 10 seconds left with an onside kick recovered by Best to secure the win. And we have a tie ball game here with 8 minutes left of the 4th. It's been a great one as the Stephenson Jaguars take on Southwest DeKalb from Halford Stadium here in DeKalb County. Coming to you live on SportalTV. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you get the best content on our YouTube channel as soon as it's released.
So we're knotted at 14 with 8 minutes remaining in regulation.
Now let's see if the Stephenson Jaguars are going to kick it again and give another opportunity to Starks back there. Starks went 98 yards for a touchdown to start this second half. With 8 minutes left, this would be a great time for another big return for Jamel Starks.
Well, if Stephenson kicks to them, they're nuts. That's about as basic as I can put it.
And here we go.
It goes back, and it's not Starks. This is Tommy Wright. Scott. Scott to the far side, pushed out at the 26.
And they'll start from their own 26-yard line. They got a lot more work to do this time. Try to get you some scores if we can find them. 23-6 is your final. Coffee Trojans over Salem Conyers. Marietta down 28-33 to Good Counsel, 7:16 left. Looks like a touchdown for Collins Hill, and they take the lead back over Walton. A big game going on up there. We've got that one being covered by SportalTV, at Sportal Space. Milton Eagles up 37-20 with 3 minutes remaining over Alpharetta. We will have Alpharetta on SportalTV later in the season. Also have one of our reporters there. You can follow that game at Sportal Space on Twitter.
Well, it's Lovett 40. Marist beats Lovett 40-20. 1st and 10 for Southwest DeKalb at the 25. White hands it off to Scott. Scott's got room to the 35, and he's pushed out of bounds. Oh, we got a late hit.
Oh, well out of bounds. Looks like deep into the Panthers sideline, and I don't know if there's a flag down there. It's hard to see it with all the yellow on the jerseys.
Well, there was a flag. I saw it fly, and the only thing it could be is a late hit.
Well, I saw some extracurricular back closer to the line of scrimmage. There were two guys tied up. It looked like a pancake block that the defender didn't like over there back at about the 25 as well. This game getting heated as it's tied with just under 8 minutes remaining.
Blessed Trinity defeats South Forsyth 35-6. It is against Stephenson. Backs him up to the 49 of the Jaguars. And
big break for the Panthers.
And an automatic first down. 1st and 10 at the 49. 7-4 remaining in regulation. White in the shotgun. I think he wants one guy to move around. There it is. Come to the other end to get at blocking purposes. And it's Scott. And Scott will get it to the 45.
Stephenson defense showing a lot more life now, John. They're getting the penetration now. They've got the excitement. They've got the energy and a little bit of momentum. The Panthers really need to grind some clock here and try to make something happen.
Well, 7:20 is remaining. Gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for Elon Scott, who has certainly been a revelation in this contest. 2 to the near side, 1 up top on the far hash. Now they go to Starks. Starks tries to get to the corner, and a nice seal by Isaiah Bembry, and it's only going to be a loss of 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, Bembry came up and delivered the wood there, knocked him down at no gain there, and it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Well, no gain. They'll give him forward progression back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and about 7. Ball at the 46. Got to get to the 39.
Panthers letting the clock run a little bit here, trying to tick a little bit off.
Bonner split out to the near side. Let's see if White tries to throw it. They're going to give some cushion on that near side. They expect Bonner to go in the middle. Instead, it's a safety route, and it bobbled and intercepted. Number 7, Trey Wilkins. And Wilkins goes to the 35. We got a flag down back to 44. Wilkins down at the 15. But we got
John, I think this is coming back. I see a player down on the Panthers sideline. There's a flag way back there. Player down on the ground being tended, and I think this is coming back.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. As they
Two flags on the ground.
Yeah, as they attend to the hurt Panther. I'm trying to see who it is, and I don't really have a good view. But Trey Wilkins picked it all. I think it was bobbled. I think he hit his man, bounced off the pads, and right to Wilkins. 6:08 left in regulation.
We got to see what this call is. I think this one's coming back. There are 2 flags on the ground and a Southwest DeKalb player down. I don't know if we got a number there.
It's 52. Anthony Williams II.
He's up, but there are 2 flags, and we're waiting for the call, and I'm not sure whose ball this is, but I think it's going to stay Panthers ball.
Well, the crowd below us cheering heavily. We got a pretty good crowd here, Brian.
Yeah, quite a few thousand people.
Yep.
On both sides.
It is against Stephenson.
Oh, what a huge penalty.
And it'll put the football at the 29. So the interception comes off the board.
And that is the 2nd interception that's been nullified by penalty tonight. Yeah, these penalties have been killers. We've had 22 by our count.
Yeah,
penalties flown, and still 6 minutes remaining in this game.
Yeah,
and these penalties have been huge. The penalty set up the first touchdown for Stephenson on the pass interference call. Deshon Stoudemire able to draw the pass interference to set up the first TD by the Jaguars.
Yeah, well, Coxon had one earlier that was nullified. That one by the Kentucky commit Trey Wilkins. So wait a minute. It is Stephenson football. So Stephenson gets it despite the penalty, and the penalty must have been after the play. So they're going to have to rush this football. It's at the 34, and it'll be 1 yard for, I believe, that was going to be number 4, Goff.
So apparently the interception holds. It's Stephenson ball, but the penalty brought back the long return. Must have been a block on that return that knocked the Southwest DeKalb player down. So Stephenson with a good opportunity here at their own 30.
Another draw play to Goff. Up the middle to the 34. Gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, nice penetration again. These Southwest DeKalb Panthers are coming downhill at the running back, and it's helped to keep it in check. We've seen Jackson try to break a few, and he's managed to be very effective so far, mostly in the second half.
3rd down at about 6 from the 33. Got to get to 39. 1 to the top, 3 at the bottom.
If you're just tuning in, still tied up with 5 minutes left here.
Dump play out of the backfield. Complete, but it won't be enough for the first down.
Looked like number 2, Javier Morton, maybe on that one.
Nope, it was Jackson.
Deondre Jackson, number 5.
Who actually was recipient of the other complete pass for Joseph Jackson. That's a pickup of about 3.
So nothing doing off that interception. A quick 3 and out, and they're going to punt. And it looks like the Panthers are back at about their 30-yard line to receive this one.
Southwest will get another crack at things. There's the kick. It's high. They have to down it at the 26. Marquez Randall grabbed it.
Yeah, it's been a great game. We hope you're enjoying it. Next week we will be live as Kell hosts Lassiter Friday night on SportalTV. Hit that subscribe button now. You don't want to miss anything. We have had 2 phenomenal games in our game of the week. Best Academy knocked out Kip 12-8 last week, and we are all tied up in this DeKalb battle. 4:04 remaining, and it's a tie game at 14. The Panthers of Southwest DeKalb will take over on the offensive side at their own 26-yard line. They had the 14-0 lead, John, off the beautiful 98-yard kick return to start the second half, and then they gave up 2 straight touchdowns.
And then they have Deondre Jackson got 2 of them, 1 from 7 yards out, and 1 a 1-yard plunge. White in shotgun. He's got an interception. His last attempt. Here comes the blitz. He gets it away.
Beautiful defensive play. He came completely unblocked and blew that play up.
Savion Brooks Aubert, number 33, forced the throw to go early, and it was incomplete.
Yeah, Ryan White last week went 12 for 19 for 178 yards and a TD, and he has just been besieged tonight. I mean, they are coming hard at him. They're not able to get him time to throw, and they're going to have to run this football if they're going to go down the field at all.
I have 5 for 12 for about 25 yards.
Yeah, the bulk of those 12 passing attempts, he's gotten drilled, even the ones he's completed.
2nd and 10. White had problems with a snap, gets it to Scott. He's playing it.
Nice play by the defense again for the Jaguars, and it's going to be another 3rd and very long from their own end zone here. So if the Jaguars can get a stop, they're going to get the last possession of this game with a chance to take the late victory.
3:37 on the clock. And we've got another drone. And boy, is that thing high. I can see it
we're
way
pretty high
up
up there, and I can see the lights of the drone a good 100 feet higher than us.
Yeah, it is. I think it's being picked up on Hartsfield-Jackson radar. 3rd and about 13 Ball at the 24. Got to get to the 37. White and shotgun. Here comes the rush. White steps up in the pocket, but there's nothing there. He's running for his life. Now he's caught on a leg tackle at the 28 and a wrestling move applied at the end by Kobe Branch.
You know what, John? I think if Ryan White had taken off a little earlier on that play, there was something there for him. But by the time he decided to run, the defense was back on him again because it had kind of parted. The season opened up a little bit. He didn't take that first opportunity to run. He was still looking down the field to complete a pass. But he might have been able to pick that one up if he'd taken off hard and fast early.
I think that was Javier Wade who had the leg tackle before Kobe Branch applied the finishing touch. 2:30 remaining. Clock ticking. Stephenson has all 3 of their timeouts.
That's Stoudemire back at their own 40 to receive. Clock's going to run out here. They're out of time. They're not getting the snap off.
Well, actually, that might not be a bad idea for Southwest DeKalb. I don't know if they got the timeout called in time before the delay of game penalty got called. And if it's true, Southwest can't stop the clock anymore. But really, they don't want to. So
yeah, it looks like they got the timeout, so they won't back it up. They certainly don't want to give him an extra 5 yards. So 2:08 remaining. This game was all Southwest DeKalb until 4 seconds remaining in the third quarter when Jackson for the Jaguars punched it in, and then he punched it in again with 8:01 remaining to tie it up.
And really, Southwest DeKalb has seen Stephenson be able to run the ball on them with abandon. They have stepped up when the moment has called for it. But really, the two-headed monster of Deondre Jackson and Javon Goff has really hurt them. Ryan Ingram, not really that much of a factor in this ball game.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed it. Today's game brought to you by SportalSpace. SportalSpace connects communities through youth sports. SportalSpace, every practice, every game.
I think that's Carlos Stephenson who's going to punt this away, number 3. It's S-T-I, not S-T-E is how he spells it. And
that's
that ball,
short. It's going out of bounds at the 40 on the wrong side of the 50-yard line for Southwest DeKalb and the right side for the Stephenson Jaguars. This will be a great opportunity, John, for them to get some points with 2 minutes left.
Yes, it will. Marquez Randall was back deep for the Jags. So the ball is placed at the 40. Again, this is the last non-region game for the Jags. They'll start region play in 2 weeks, following an off week as they play Mount Zion of Jonesboro.
If you're Coach Gartrell, you got to feel very good. You got the ball at the 40-yard line, 3 timeouts, 2 minutes left with a chance to win this game, a game you were trailing until deep in the fourth quarter.
1st and 10 from the 40. It's Goff on first down. Ingram. And Ingram will get to the 37.
Looked like number 7, Joshua Tate, coming up and run support. Another good play by the defense, but they're going to need a few more here if they're going to close this one out, John.
1:42 and counting. Remember, Stephenson has all 3 of their timeouts. Ball at the 38, so it's a pickup of 2. Look out for Deshon Stoudemire. He's at the bottom. But instead, it's Jackson going north-south, and it's another 2-yard pickup to the 36. And they're going to have to spend one of those timeouts.
Yeah, they don't move the ball down the field fast enough to let this clock run underneath a minute.
Yeah, it's 1:08 and counting. It's still going. And Stephenson is shuttling people in and out like they're playing musical chairs on the SS Titanic.
And they got no time. 10 seconds left on the play clock here.
This is very interesting play calling for Coach Gartrell.
He dropped
the football. Flag is going to get thrown. And Jackson just moves it forward 2 more yards. But finally, the clock is going to stop at 44 seconds.
Oh, John, I don't understand. Coach Gartrell's got to get a timeout there and make sure he gets that great play off on 3rd and 6. He can't risk a kind of play like that with the clock winding down on him.
No, he can't. And the penalty against Stephenson, backing it up to the 41.
Oh, that's a gut punch. Now they got to go long way here. Only 44 seconds remaining.
Ball at the 41. At least the penalty stopped the clock. And remember,
well, John, I'd be okay with overtime in our second game, the game of the week here on SportalTV.
Well, like I said, it's just the clock management from Coach Gartrell. Now
that clock's moving right now. It was only stopped until they reset the ball, and they just burned 8 seconds.
Now we get a timeout with 36 seconds remaining here in regulation.
Yeah, but that timeout should have been called 8 seconds ago.
It should have been called when there was like 120, 115. I'm shocked that they let it run that far down before getting the timeout.
Well, Coach Gartrell's been winning for a long time around here, so we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's going to need a big play with 36 seconds left. He's got 2 timeouts from the 41-yard line. They have not been able to get the ball to their star wide receiver, Deshon Stoudemire. He was able to draw the pass interference penalty that set up their first touchdown at the end of the third quarter, but no receptions. You have any for him tonight?
I have none. The only 2 completions for Joshua Jackson has been Deondre Jackson. I have him 2 for 7 with a pick and 8 yards. Well, after the timeout, ball at the 41, 3rd and 11. Got to believe this is 4-down territory for the Jags.
With no timeouts for Southwest DeKalb, there's not much to lose by going for it on 4th.
So Ingram is going to be in the backfield as Jackson under center. 2 to the near side. Put a man in motion. That's the following Jackson. Jackson's going to roll, looking for the other Jackson. Complete in the flat. No room for him to go, and he can only get 2 yards to the 39. With 26 seconds to go, and Stephenson will have to do another timeout. But they're not. I think Stephenson wants to go to overtime at this point.
Either that or they're going to let it run down and run a play right before the end of the game, but it looks like they're not going to.
I think Stephenson just wants to take their chances with overtime. It really looks like that's what Coach Gartrell is doing. Well,
okay, tell us, John, how does overtime work in Georgia high school football?
I need a whiteboard. I need a flow chart. It's really convoluted, but they do get the... And I think Stephenson just let the clock go to 0. They won overtime. So Stevenson's playing for the extra frames. And we are going overtime here from Halford Stadium. I just don't. Again, it's just very interesting to. They put 3 seconds back on it. So they put 3 seconds back on the clock. So there was a timeout called, I think. But still, this has just been very, very interesting. As the only, I'm just being very charitable by calling it that. Well, Southwest DeKalb coaches to our left expect them to go for a broke on this play, 4th down from the 39. I'm just surprised they weren't going for a field goal, try to get to the 15 or the 20, and then kick a field goal.
Well, 3 seconds left. They'll have one heave at it if they want to take it.
All right. Well, Jackson's going to set up in the shotgun. It's going to be Goff and Ingram. Stoudemire to the near side. Only one. No, they'll put Goff on almost as a tight end. There's the pass, and sure enough, it's Stoudemire. Stoudemire out of bounds, and that is going to do it.
We are going to overtime. It only took 2 games, John, for us to get an overtime, and here it comes.
Our first overtime game here from Halford Stadium, 14-all, Stephenson and Southwest DeKalb here on SportalTV.
14-14 is your score. We hope you're enjoying this game as much as we are. It's been a fantastic game. Both teams have been bringing the best game out here that they've got. We are going to overtime right now here with Stephenson and Southwest DeKalb.
Yeah, again, it'll be a 3-minute break between the start of overtime and where we are now. So kind of like an abbreviated halftime.
Yeah, so we'll recap the action for you. It was a touchdown in the second quarter, 3 minutes and 25 seconds left. That was a touchdown by the Panthers. It was Jamel Starks, a beautiful run to the right side, jumped and flipped over 2 players into the end zone to take the 7-0 lead. The opening kickoff of the second half was taken 98 yards back by Jamel Starks for the touchdown to make it 14-0 for the Panthers. The Stephenson Jaguars got back on track and scored a touchdown of their own by Jackson, rushing it in with 4 seconds remaining in the quarter to make it 14-7. And then with 8:01 left in the fourth quarter, it was another touchdown run by Jackson to tie this game up. The defense is held all throughout the rest of the fourth quarter. And here we sit at 14-all, 2 minutes on the clock before we go to overtime on SportalTV. This is the SportalTV Game of the Week. Stephenson Jaguars and Southwest DeKalb Panthers. It's been a great one. Brian Zorner joined here by John Morgo, our cameraman Andrew Garner, and our producer Joseph Johnson. We will be getting out here for the overtime any minute now from Halford Stadium in DeKalb County. It's been a great night. Next week we will be live at Kell High School as they host Lassiter. Those 2 schools are less than 5 miles apart. They know each other plenty well. We got a chance to see Kell in the Corky Kell Classic. They wing the ball around. We'll have fireworks. We'll have heavy-duty passing offense. It should be a lot of fun next week on SportalTV, so hit that subscribe button.
Well, we got about another 70 seconds before we start this overtime period here. Again, they're going to put the ball at the 25, and you got 4 downs to either get it in or get a field goal. And they're just going to go back and forth until somebody comes out ahead. I think that's pretty much the basic rules here for the overtime frames here in Georgia high school football. But you're going to be sure that each team will get a crack at it. So it's not so much the first team that scores wins. That's not how it goes. It's the first team that can put it ahead of the other one.
Well, we hope you're enjoying this. If you're just joining in now, we are about to see the start of overtime. Captains are coming out now to get the coin flipped to see who's going to go on offense first. We've got Stephenson in the navy with the white and Southwest DeKalb, the Panthers in yellow with the blue trim.
And for the coin toss for Stephenson, it'll be 75, Joshua Black. He was out there the first time. And for Southwest DeKalb, number 55, Jason Stovall Jr. is out there as well as they do the flip. And let's see who's going to get it now. If I'm Steve, well,
you want to go second.
Yeah,
you want to get a chance to see what the offense does.
Yep. See what you have to pick up. He's also there with Jamel Starks, who's pretty much been Stephenson's Southwest DeKalb's whole offense. 2 scores for him. An electrifying punt return.
Yeah, he went 98 yards on the opening kick of the second half to take a 14-0 lead. But ever since then, it's been the rushing offense of the Stephenson Jaguars that have flipped this game and pushed us in overtime.
Well, I think Southwest is going to defend the goal to our right, and they will get the first crack at things.
Southwest DeKalb in the gold and blue. Stephenson in the navy and white.
Right. Officials are huddling, so Southwest will get first shot at things. If you're
Southwest DeKalb, I think you continue to look for Jamel Starks and Ian Scott. Those 2 guys have been making it happen on the ground. Ryan White not getting the time to get passes off, so they're going to have to work this thing on the ground. And on the other side of the ball, Stephenson Jaguars on the offensive side, they got to keep feeding the man, Deondre Jackson. He's got 2 touchdowns. He had 3 last week. And, man, John, he'd love to get a third one tonight.
He would. Give the Jaguars that big victory heading into region play in 2 weeks. Well, Stephenson will defense first, and Southwest will come out on offense.
Going to be going from right to left on your screen.
Just a matter of what the Jaguars can give up here, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. Again, the ball is placed on the 15, not the 25.
No first downs in this overtime here in Georgia, so no sticks out.
Nope.
You start at the 15, and you either score or you don't.
Get 4 cracks at it.
Now, both these guys were kicking fine extra points, so this is not an unmakeable field goal range for either of them if they do find themselves on a 4th down opportunity.
Southwest comes on out. White will be in the shotgun. That is Ulmer split out at the bottom. Starks is in the slot on the near side. Ian Scott to his right. White.
Only 4 seconds to get this playoff. 2, 1.
They get it. Here comes the blitz. White goes for the end zone. Tight coverage.
Picked off.
Almost.
No.
Went through Bembry's hands.
Oh, Bembry had it. John, he had it. That ball was much closer to Bembry than anybody else, and he couldn't hold it in.
Bembry almost reeled it in. Now, if they do get the interception, that just ends the possession. Then Stephenson would just need a field goal to win it.
Field goal's not such an easy thing at this level, but both of these guys were able to kick well on the extra points, so definitely an option.
So 2nd down now. And it looks like it was almost a jet sweep. Instead, they'll reverse it to Scott, and a good play from behind the line of scrimmage. And we might see
down.
a cramp.
Looks like he's got a little cramp down there.
Yep.
33 maybe?
33, Savion Brooks-Aubert. And here comes the trainer to attend to him. It's a loss of 1 for Ian Scott, back to the 16.
Now it's going to be 3rd down from about the 16. No 1st down options here in overtime.
Well, 3rd down and 11. Well,
the
sticks are out on that far side. And it looks like they are giving them a 1st down opportunity at the 5. But right now we're just attending to Savion Brooks-Aubert, the junior linebacker, listed at 6'1". Lowndes destroys Chambly 62-0. As finals are starting to trickle in here.
Yeah, we don't get those kind of games here on SportalTV, John. Every game's been a tight one. Last week we went down to an onside kick with less than 10 seconds left to secure the victory for Best Academy over Kip Atlanta, and this one going to overtime.
Yep, we are going to overtime here. Opportunity for Southwest DeKalb and Stephenson to try and pick up a big W here. 3rd down and about 11. John Morgo, Brian Zwerner, thank you for spending part of your Friday night here with us on SportalTV. We've had a great one for you. A real big game between these two squads. As Southwest DeKalb and Stephenson are tied on 3rd down. White with time, going to the end zone, and it's caught!
Touchdown!
That's a touchdown!
What a great play. Finds his man in the back of the end zone, and that is a touchdown for the Panthers.
Beautiful play there. I believe that was Ulmer. I believe that was Brian Ulmer with the touchdown. Makes it 20-14. But again, what the thing that matters here, it's not what Southwest DeKalb does, it's what Stephenson does on their next possession.
Yeah, so this extra point, critically important. Both of them made 2 of them.
Exactly. So we've got the extra point to be played here as we are in overtime between Southwest DeKalb and Stephenson here on SportalTV. I'm John Morgo with Brian Zwerner. Thank you for joining us here today. They might have left a little early on that extra point. I think they did. They left early on that. So that is what's going on right here, right now. And for someone who wants to call me, I'll have to call you right back after this game is over because, again, we are in overtime.
It's an exciting one from Hallford Stadium here. John Morgo, Brian Zwerner. It's overtime. They're going to have another crack at this extra point. A beautiful toss into the back of the end zone for Ryan White. And they are up by 6 pending this extra point.
Exactly. And this is going to be again Reno Ramjog attempting the extra point. Put it down, put it up, put it through.
And that is a 7-point lead.
Yep, 21-7 in favor of Southwest
21-14. 21-14.
21-14.
And it'll be Stephenson from the 15-yard line now with a chance to match. And if they do, we go to second overtime.
That's the rules. Field goal doesn't help.
John, I got nowhere to be. It's about 10:37 here on the East Coast. I'm happy to stay as long as it takes to settle this contest. It's been a fantastic game. Hope you're enjoying watching with us tonight. Tonight's game brought to you on SportalTV. Hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss a minute of our Game of the Week schedule. We had a 12-8 nail-biter last week, and we've got an overtime gem in Week 2. We will be live in Lassiter versus Kell next week.
1st and 10 from the 15. Swing pass. And a pitch to Jackson. Jackson gets 2 to the 13. Again, a field goal does not help. They got to get a score here. So it's 2nd down and about 9.
They're going to have to keep feeding Deondre Jackson. He's been the man for the second half for the Stephenson Jaguars. But we've seen a pressure defense out of Southwest DeKalb. They've been attacking downhill. They've been trying to get in the backfield and blow these plays up. If they could come up big one more time.
Well, Jackson's got room, but he's tripped up by Starks. Lands at the 9, 3rd and 4.
Yeah, the Southwest DeKalb defensive coaches are right next to us, and they're excited by that tackle because Jackson was seeing green out there in the end zone.
Just outside the box of the soccer field. Again, that's a soccer field dimensions that's put down here on this artificial turf at Halford Stadium. So it's 3rd down. Well, they say 3rd and 3. Well, 3rd and 3, it's 3rd and 4 from the 9. 4 down territory. Jackson again, but he's bottled. Can they get him down? They do. It's at the 10.
That's Kazan Glenn, number 15, that came up with a huge hit. He got penetration into the backfield, and it's a huge 4th down play for the Jaguars.
Well, this is the game right here. They'll put it down at the 9. This is the game. If Southwest can hold, they'll win. And they'll knock off the Jaguars for the first time since 2005.
That's going to be a timeout.
Not
Coach
surprising.
Gartrell wants to pull the offense over and make sure they get the very best play possible on this giant 4th down in overtime. Stephenson down by 7, needing a score to even it out and push us to a second overtime. It's been a fantastic game. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Jamel Starks has scored twice for Southwest DeKalb, and then this touchdown pass in the back of the end zone made 21 for them. Deondre Jackson with both touchdown scores for the Jaguars of Stephenson. Stephenson sitting at number 4 in our coaches poll in 6A. 2 great programs battling here at Halford Stadium in DeKalb County. We've had a great time out here on SportalTV. We hope you're enjoying it. And we are joined every week by Hot 107.9 and the Dirty Boys. They are invading the best games this season with their Friday Night Highlights High School Football Tour powered by SportalTV. For more information on schedule, teams, highlights, visit hotspotatl.com. John, here we go, the 4th down play of the game.
Exactly. It all comes down to this. They got to get to the 5. They don't need a touchdown on this play. They just got to get it to the 5 to get a new set of downs. Now remember, Stoudemire hasn't done anything. Jackson's got time. No, he doesn't.
He's going down.
He goes down hard.
Woo, and that's the ball game.
Southwest DeKalb does it. They knock off the Stephenson Jaguars 21-14 in a battle to the finish here at Halford Stadium.
Look at Stephenson. They are coming all the way over to Southwest DeKalb is coming all the way through the Stephenson sideline, and they are coming over to their fans. They are excited. What a finish. A sack by the defense to close out the game for the Panthers. John, it's been a fantastic game. Stephenson had a great second half, fought their way all the way back, tied this thing up. Southwest DeKalb comes out to start the overtime with a touchdown pass and gets the 4th down sack to seal the win.
Well, the officials are blowing. I hear whistles blowing. We have a down player on Southwest DeKalb's side. But again, other than that, it's just jubilation for the Panthers, knocking off the Stephenson Jaguars here, 21-14 here on Sportal Space. John Morgan, Brian Zellner, an incredible match, an incredible ending to an incredible ball game here on your Game of the Week.
Tune in next week as we have Lassiter at Kell. Every game on SportalTV goes down to the last minute. That's been the case so far with our first 2 games of the week. We hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button so you can see all of our content as soon as it comes out, and be there next Friday night for our game of the week. Thank you and good night.
Woo!